That's crazy. Oh, who's in here? I can't see who's in here. Who the fuck's in here? I can't see. Oh, damn. Not one person. Who's in here? I can't see it. Oh, good. Question mark morning. Oh, what's up, Janice? Just chilling. I can't sleep, really. It comes down to it. You're just a loyal follower, Janice. I love it. I'm like, I can always count on Janice to be in my life. Mm, mm. So you like my story, huh? I have so many. I feel like I should do this on like my laptop. Like, I just have this feeling like my laptop's not gonna like do what it's supposed to do. It's gonna be crazy like it always is. So I might just try it. I don't know. How have you been since the last time I talked to you? Look at me. I feel like I'm on TikTok because I'm like trying not to smoke on camera because I'll get banned. But I realize this is not TikTok. This is YouTube. So like, I feel like everything goes on YouTube. I didn't get a strike. I don't want to say I got a strike because it didn't, but like YouTube sent me an email today saying that like my video was not kid friendly, and I was like, I didn't even make it kid friendly. I don't know what they were talking about, but apparently they had something to say about it. So at the end of the day, whoa. What is this 69 fun thing? What the hell is this? Why does this person always show up on my damn live? How do I get rid of him? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, block that dude. I don't like that. Okay, cool. No. Oh, Janice, I'm sorry. It's awful. Oh, if it makes me feel any better. Um, I haven't got a phone call or really like anything from. Wow, it's not working. Really? I just blocked it. Why the fuck is my laptop not working? There it goes. Mm. Itchiness all over my arm, dude. I got bit by something last night. I don't know what the fuck bit me, but something bit me and it's been itching all day. It sucks. I hate it. The cat's being weird. God damn, man. It just looks so bad. Mm. Oh, cheer up. Oh, look. The boys kick it, hey, boo. Say hi. Say hi, Janice. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. What are you doing, kitty cat? What are you doing? Hey, can we make Janice happy? Can we make her happy? Can we make her happy? Oh, there's a baby. Ow. Oh, yeah, they're cool. She saved my life. Mm. No, we're not doing all that, Kit Kat. Well, oh, come here. Mm-mm. We're not jumping all over the place. She's a pain in my butt, though, sometimes. She really is, but. What up, dude? Say what up. What up? What up it is? Oh, you know, me and Janice, we just talking. My cat's being my cat. Mm-mm. No, we're not going up. No. You can, like, look into the camera, I guess, but you're not going up on that table because you're going to knock everything over. Mm. Hey, buddy. Mm. Did he go away? Oh, okay. What are you doing? Wait. Just chillin', boo kitty, boo boo. Hmm. This is actually pretty funny because like she never sits on my lap while I'm on live, like ever. She really never does. She's like wants nothing to do with it. It's okay, girlfriend. They don't have friends. They have friends. They have friends. Yeah. I know I gotta get some coffee too, for real. But like now I can't move anywhere because this little thing is on my lap and she'd be pissed. I should go and look at herself now. You're purring. It's so funny. It's just so funny. But oh, thank you for the kisses. Come on, Boo Kitty, make me a star on YouTube like you did on TikTok. She's the one that made me a star on TikTok, though, for real. She did. Her account's the one that's almost got 10,000. They all everybody says she has like the most beautiful eyes ever. She does. She really does. She's so 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 sweet. I'm shocked that she's like actually sitting here right now like this. Like she never does this. It's like, what do I do now? Like, I can't move because like if I move, then she's gonna move, and I'm like, no, don't move. Mm, 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 mm. Right? She does not do this. Like, she is not. She's this is not her. I don't know if she's just like it's a pain in the ass because I try to get her to get on my lives on TikTok sometimes, and I'm like, "Come say hi to fans, Boo Kitty," and like she wants nothing to do with it. But as soon as I turn on YouTube, she's like, "What doing? What you doing?" My vet says she's fat. My vet says she's fat. I gotta stop feeding her like treats. That's what it is. Right. Actually, her day was 2 days ago. Black Cat Day was 2 days ago. Like they actually black cats actually have their own. I call her my little house panther. I call her my little house panther. I don't let her like she doesn't go outside. Like we have a screened in porch, so she can go out there until she brings lizards in my house, and then it's game on because she did it the other day. And yeah, I know I mentioned I know you meant Halloween, but she brought a lizard in my house like a couple. I don't want to say it was a couple weeks ago. She doesn't kill it. She just holds it in her mouth, and like I'll tell you that this cat. My mom was like, she got a lizard in her mouth, and I was like, oh. I was like, you better not drop it. What is this chick? What does she do? She comes in my bedroom and jumps in my bed, and I'm like, don't you dare drop it on my bed. Don't you dare do it. And she just dropped it, and that thing went, I don't know where the fuck it went for like a good 5 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, the thing is like in my room now. Like I'm never gonna hear the end of it because she's gonna just like be all about it until she finds it again. Come to find out, wait, am I talking about you? Are you talking about you? Come to find out that it was under my pillow, and like I took like a like a Tupperware thing and like pounced on it, and I put it outside. I was like, "Go, don't run." She was so pissed because she was in my room looking for it for, like, an hour and a half. I'm like, "It's not here anymore." It scared the shit out of me, though. I'm like, "Don't you dare drop that thing in my bedroom." And what does she do? She just silly kitty cat. She's so funny. I was, like, really freaking out about it. I was like, "Dude, the thing is gonna be in my room forever." Well, that's why Halloween is, like, it's not like, I Halloween is definitely her day, yes, because she's black cat, but they say, like, people say, "Keep your black cats inside," because people will, like, intentionally seek out to harm them or kill them or whatever, and it's just, like, awful. It's awful. Like, why? Like, why somebody would do that to something like this thing. You know, it's so it's not even just black cats, like, black dogs, any sort of black animal that's in a shelter, like, they're always the last ones to get adopted because everybody thinks that they're red. Like, I got this cat because I thought it was cool that a black cat followed me around. I was like, "I need this cat. It's a ball black cat. It'll follow me around everywhere, and it'll be cool." And she's been like I grew up with cats. I grew up with animals my whole life, for real. Like, I mean, I've had cats and dogs my whole life and horses and, like, I don't know. Out of all the cats that I've ever had in my life, like, she's definitely got the one that's got the most personality out of all of them. Like, my mom has my sister's cat, and it's a Maine Coon that thinks, like, I don't know, must weigh, like, 30 fucking pounds, for real. It's the cat in Harry Potter. Um, she found it in a dumpster when it was a kitten. I'm like, "Damn, that's like a $1,000 cat right there," is really what it was. Mm, that's exact She was so excited. Yeah. Mhm, mine too. I like the color black too. It's crazy because, like, cats she was so excited that she had it in her she's like, "Yeah, like, mom, I bought you a present." I'm like, "No, don't put that on my bed." Like, "Cool." I mean, she was just like it's like she wanted well, what? It's like she wanted, like, praise. "Oh, are you gonna get up? We gonna get up." It'd be cool if you did get up so I can go get something to drink. That'd be awesome. Or you wanna pull tarot cards? She pulls tarot cards. She don't read them, obviously, but she'll pull them. Oh, mm, mm, mm. Did a good kitty cat. Mm, mm, go. You get on that? Go. Oh, oh, oh. Come on, fat butt. Oh, god damn. There you go, kitty cat. Jesus. Oh, yes. What? You want? Oh, here's no. Here she comes. What do you want to do? You, she loves electronics. I don't know why, but she has this obsession with my ring light and my freaking no, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're in the middle of my oh my gosh, kitty cat. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Are you content now with all my wires? I don't yes, they should. They should. Definitely. I mean, I'm gonna she'd be funny. There was like a fly in my room. I don't know where it came from, but like it was bugging the shit out of her because she couldn't catch it, and then finally the other day she caught it. I don't know how she caught it, but good like little grasshopper and like the Karate Kid over here. That's exactly what she reminded me of. I'm like, damn, this bitch caught a freaking a fly in her mouth. Young grasshopper. I was gonna show you. Look, I got a letter from Joey today. I was going to show you his artwork. Like he sent it. He did it on an envelope. So I'm super excited. He worked really hard on it because he's like the coolest drawer ever. And that's pretty cool, huh? Like super cool. I gotta put I'm making like a oh, that makes me so sad. Well, I got her. I paid $20 for her at Petco. Um, and when I got her like literally like right after the whole mic thing happened, and ironically the mom cat had like 9 kittens, which is like crazy that the thing had 9 cats. But out of all the out of the whole entire litter, they were all gray. Every single other cat was gray, but this one Boo Kitty was black. She was the only black cat in the entire litter, and I was like, oh, this is um. They rescued them from a like a meth house actually. I guess the police uh raided this person's house, and they found a bunch of animals that were really malnourished, and like um a bunch of other stuff, like just in really bad conditions. And I thought it was funny because she out of all my animals that I've ever had, I've had to fight tooth and nail to get them to take like a pill, or like if they get like a pill from the vet or something, it's like a struggle trying to get these things to like down their throat without them like freaking out. And I always joke about it. I say she's my good. This probably sounds really bad, but I always tell her she's my good drug addict because like she can eat a pill off my finger with nothing. Like she doesn't have to have a hot dog or like some sort of piece of meat on it. Like she just eats it, and I'm like, oh my god, you are the best cat ever. I'm like, man, it's secretly like drug addict cat in the background. Like, damn, it's wild. I'm still trying to figure out like what the significance of her being the only black cat in the whole litter. I can't find anybody to tell me like what their thoughts are on it though. I thought TikTok would help me out, but they didn't. And nobody knew what the hell they were talking about. So it's crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all can join me in the kitchen so I can go get some coffee real quick because I'm like totally need some coffee. Okay. Moochie. That's such a cute name for a dog. Isn't that like I don't want to say it's Japanese. It is a very sad life for her, but she was just a kitten, so like, yeah, I don't think she really remembers a lot of it. But I would like, I've always been like a hold on, it's gonna be dark in a second. Hold on, I'll turn the light on in a second. Um, I've always been like a purebred. Yeah. Spoken like a true person that knows about horses, because that's what I did with my horses. When I had to, when we had to like warm them and stuff, I had like, mm, at one point I had like three horses. I used to be a big, of course, there's no water in here. Why would there be any water in here? I used to be a very big horseback riding, like jumper, like back, like when I was little, like when I started to ride horses at like age 5, like 5 or 6 or some shit like that. Um, I rode English until I broke my back at 13, and that's when I switched to Western, and I went from riding thoroughbreds to quarter horses. Rice, that's right. That's why I said Japanese for rice. I thought it was Japanese. I didn't. I was like, I know it's that's so cool, so cool. Um, yeah, I had quarter horses and everything, like my sisters. Well, I have a picture of. I don't have a picture of my horse, but if you look, let me see if I can flip this around. All right, so if you look at this picture right here, that's my sister. So like, that's her horse, Petey. He's like, he's like, he's like, God damn, dude, he's got to be like 15 or some shit like that. He's oldie, but he's they're cool. They're cool animals. It's, because like my spirit animal, well, one of them besides the owl, like I mean, me and horses have a, I don't know what it is, but me and horses have a we have this connection. Who like I can't explain it at all, but ever since I was a little kid, me and like when I found horses, like they were like one with me. And ever since then, like every time I'm like around a horse or like really any animal, um, it's just natural for me to like be, I guess, empathetic. Well, I am empathetic with animals, but um, it's so funny. Oh, I used to run barrels for a long time. I've actually ridden a cutting horse before. Um, that's awful. I worked on a believe it or not, in Arizona when I lived out in Arizona the first time in Tucson. There's this place called Almara, and it was a big multi-million-dollar Arabian horse ranch. Like they bred Arabian horses. I had an Arabian horse at one point named Buttons. Um, but yeah, I worked at this ranch too. It's called Almara. I don't know what it's called now. It could be the same thing, but my horse trainer actually knew the owner of it, and I went out there to do get my equine license. Well, like not license, but my like equine degree, so I could do so I could like work at a barn. Yeah. Oh yeah. Imagine so. It would piss me off. Like I go to somebody's house and if I like don't see like their cat's litter box or like they don't have food in their dishes or like they look really fucked up, like I get very angry about it. I actually called one time. Actually, I was gonna say CPS, not CPS. Um, animal control on these people. We went to go buy a pit bull, and the place we went to was in. I should have known better because it was like not in a nice part of town at all. We bought them in DC, or we were gonna buy them in DC, but the way they had the whole thing set up was just like not. It just was not okay. Um, they like it was just not a good setup. I don't really like get into it. It makes me so mad because like I'm pretty sure they were like breeding them to fight. Um, I called animal control immediately because DC has this thing with pit bulls. You're not even supposed to have pit bulls in DC. Like it's like a big no-no. But they have this rescue organization that will take them and like take them out of DC and put them in like Maryland because DC has like a no um like it's pretty much up to like a kill shelter. Like if they see a pit bull and then like running around, or if they even see it at your house, they can like legally seize it. So I called animal control and I made them come get the dogs. I stayed there until they got there. I was like, I'm not leaving these dogs here like that. If I had money to buy all 5 of them, I would have, but I didn't have I didn't have money to buy all 5 of those motherfuckers. But I do know they all went to get homes. So like not fighting homes. So that was like the best part about the whole thing was that they didn't get killed or they got to live like somewhat of a normal life. And I'm not even a pit bull fan. Like it's not really they're cool. They're not as cool as Rottweilers though. Rotties are the shit. They are the shit. For real. I gotta go get my cigarettes. Gonna go smoke. Um, mm That's pretty cool. I actually my sea spirit animal is actually a shark. Believe it or not, it's actually yep, a shark. I have these oh my god, what is that? All right, hold on. These guys actually, they're like um um the killer whale is pretty sick. I like that. I like the killer whale too. I lost all respect for SeaWorld when that movie Blackfish came out or Blackfin or whatever. Like I just don't believe animals should be put in captivity. Roddy love, yes, girl, yes, Roddy love for sure. I swear, next to a border collie, that was the best dog I ever had, and it was my first bully breed dog I ever had too. So like, it was pretty cool. Ow! I just stepped on something like not cool. Um, but yeah. Oh my god, I forgot my charger. Never mind, I have to go get that. It's not one thing; it's another. Um, but I was saying the reason owl was my spirit animal on land. Besides, well, my first spirit animal would be a horse. Like I'm hands down a horse person. 100% would be a horse. Other than that, my owl came to me when I was like a little kid. I think I was like 7 or something like that. I think either 7 or 6. Hold on a second. That is it. That is it. Bet. No, it's not. Damn it. Where's the other one at? Oh, I know I'm like getting all like. Oh, it's this one. Bet. Found it. Um, I know exactly what it is. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I went to rehab in Wickenburg, Arizona. I was on like a 900-acre cattle ranch, like for the first part of it. It was crazy, but yeah, I Well, it's funny because I'm gonna put my phone in and I'll be all right. It's funny because I learned how to break horses in Tucson at that place. That's where I learned how to break horses at. Like, I'm gonna put you down for a second. Yeah, that's where I used to. That's where I learned how to like take like a horse or a foal that had never been like had never had like been handled and put like a halter on it and like train it from like a baby to like when it was like 1 year old. Yeah. Um, well, I originally wanted to be a they are Arabians are really pretty. They are very gorgeous. They're very um they're very smart. Oh no. I'll put it to you this way. My quarter horse that I had, Scooby, well, his registered name was One Final Chip. If you look up on Google, you can see his dad was Zips Chocolate Chip. In the quarter horse world, I paid 5 grand for him when I bought him when he was like 2. If I had not gotten into drugs and I had not waited to sell him, I could have easily sold him for like over $100,000. Well over that, actually, probably closer to 200,000 because he had so many world titles and so many national titles. Because I hold world titles. I hold one world title, one, which is pretty significant. But I hold a bunch of national titles too, though, because that was like what I did for a very long time. I wanted to be a I really just wanted to train. I wanted to train horses. That was like my biggest thing. Like I really just wanted to train, which is why that's why I did that. The whole apprenticeship in Tucson was to train. Um, and then drugs played a huge role in me not finishing it. I mean, I finished it, but like, eh, not in very good standings, like at all. It was not a No, they are actually very loyal. They're called the nanny dog for a reason. I just think they're overrated, to be honest. It's sad that like it's sad. Well, I mean, I went to school for grooming dogs. That's what was like another thing I did. And I'm more scared of a Chihuahua than I am of any other dog in the world because you're right. You can breed any dog to be mean. Um, I'm a very firm believer if you're going to have a dog, it needs to be trained and you need to be able to like be able to afford to train it. Be a you know what I'm saying? Like it's not one of these things like like when people get a pit bull and they're like, oh my god, they wanted to like the cropped ears and all the fucking bullshit with the cropped ears thing. Like I personally think a pit bull looks way cuter with floppy ears. The guy I actually work with, he breeds American bullies, um, and he's got you know what a merle is, right? That's like the Australian Shepherd. I've never seen an American bulldog or American bully that was a merle color, like an Australian Shepherd. I've never seen that. It's like a crazy pattern. Oh wow. Well, my first dog that was ever my dog was a border collie. His name was Jake, and he was the smartest dog I've ever had in my life. And then we had him. We had an Australian Shepherd. Well, we had a miniature Australian Shepherd. Actually, he just passed away a couple months ago. But Jake was the love of my life. I have Jake's ashes on my altar. I have a tattoo on my body of the Nightmare Before Christmas, the zero Jax's dog in it with his ashes tattooed in my skin. So like I took his ashes and like went to a special tattoo person and got I got zero like in his outline around it. It was pretty cool. He was my best friend. I lost him 2 weeks before I lost my brother. Yeah, literally, I think it was like 2 weeks. That's awesome. Well, my Rottweiler was the first experience I ever had with a bully breed for real. I never. I didn't have like an experience with a pit bull like that because like yeah, I mean I had friends that had pit bulls and stuff like that, but I didn't. In South Carolina, it's very huge to dump animals on the side of the road. Like it's very big out here. People will dump dogs all over the side of the highways and stuff. Like my sister has a what you would call a brown Carolina dog. I never heard of it. It looks like a Ridgeback because I think it might have like a little bit of Ridgeback in it because it's got that stripe down her back. She's an asshole. I hate that dog. She's mean as shit, but it's not my sister's fault. I guess I don't know. She found him in a box like underneath the slide at a kid's playground. Like I mean, just like people just dump their animals, and it's so sad. Exactly. Yeah. Well, you take a freaking majestic animal like that out of the damn ocean and put it in a concrete fucking prison. Yeah, I would. I can't be upset that it tried to kill somebody because I mean, look at that. Yeah, how do you put something like that in a fucking concrete tank for its like whole life and then steal it out of the ocean? Like that's awful. I was a big Free Willy fan movie. Like those are like my shit back in the day. I love that movie. Um, Owls come to me as a warning though. That's why it's my second spirit animal because it's not so much that it brings me like luck. Well, it does. I guess it does, but it's mainly it always brings a warning. If I see one or I hear it, it means something's either going to happen very soon or something's going to happen. The first time it happened was when I was 7 and it landed like 2 feet in front of me, and literally a half an hour later my neighbor's house got robbed. um so they come to me as a warning. I know who you're talking about, that woman. She's on like not Net Geo, she's on Discovery. What's her name? I know who you're talking about. I've seen her on like Shark Week on like Discovery Channel. I know I don't know her name, but I've definitely seen it. I know who you're talking about. Mm. I would give anything. That's part of the reason I want to go to Alaska, besides to see the Northern Lights, because that's on my bucket list. But I want to go to Alaska so I can see whales or killer whales, at least, because they're pretty cool. But I mean, they're known to kill gray white sharks and shit. Like, you know, and the gray white shark is like a rogue. I mean, well, any shark is a rogue, pretty much. But um, it's cool how they use like echolocation and stuff like that. Um, yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them a lot. I always wanted when I was a little kid before, like, because like I can remember going to SeaWorld as a little kid and watching Shamu, which is Tilikum, obviously. And being a little kid, it was like, oh, cool. I wanted to be a killer whale trainer so badly, or a dolphin trainer. Like, I mean, like I wanted that so bad. Like, I really did because I thought it'd be so cool. But then I was like, man, no, I can't do that. Like, I didn't even keep my horses in a stall. Like when we went showing, yes, they stayed in a stall. Like, but like at home, they were never locked in their stalls. Like they were able to go in their stalls like whenever they wanted to, but I would never lock them in a stall. They had free range, like where they were at. I just don't believe in caging something like that. It's just not right. Yeah, bears are pretty cool. Wolves are pretty sweet too because you can well, Mark might be able to. Might be not Mike. Mark probably will be able to answer this too, though. Every dog comes from a wolf, or at least some part of like DNA wise comes from a wolf. Like my horse trainer used to breed, or his brother used to breed hybrid Italian, Irish wolfhounds, but they were like wolfhounds mixed with like a wolf. You want to know something? You want to know a fun fact too? I learned this in Arizona at this horse race. I could never figure out why they put donkeys in a field with a bunch of yearlings. Okay, right? Just I'm like, well, why would they? Because like when I got there, I'm like, well, what the hell are these donkeys doing in like the field with all the foals? Fun fact about donkeys, they the only animal that a mountain lion is scared of is a donkey. Like if there's a donkey in the paddock, like mountain lions will go nowhere near it. Like nowhere. They don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah, they can. I worked on a thoroughbred. Well, not a thoroughbred race horse track place in Saratoga. It was part of my treatment center. I've always been against horse racing. I think it's cruel, and I've definitely seen trainers shoot their horses up with cocaine and methamphetamines. Like it definitely happens. It definitely happens. And they pray to God they don't get caught popping a drug test. But like I've legitimately seen people shoot their racehorses up with like coke and like crystal meth to make them go faster. It's awfully awful, so awful. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but apparently that's what it is. Mountain lions are scared of donkeys. Like any sort of like I don't know what it is about it, but I thought that was pretty interesting. It is. I mean, I got it when I was 15. Um, that picture I showed you of my sister with her horse. We went to the World Show in Wyoming. That's where the World Show. Well, that's where the World Quarter Horse Show is, I guess. Um, and she placed. She's 4 years younger than me. She placed second out of 250 entries. I feel like the only reason I won a world title is because I wasn't up in the age range, like with adults, because I was still like, I didn't move up into the adult category until I was like I don't know, 18 ish. I yeah, I mean, I'm not ever gonna have money like that. Like I mean, like I said, I grew up. I mean, I was blessed with the family I had. Like my parents had, money to do that when we were. Um, but I mean, I broke my back at 13, and like I don't know. I feel like because I'm like 35, and I know this, you're gonna be like, oh my god, you're so young. But like, I feel like if I do it, and like I haven't been on a horse in like, damn, y'all, it's been probably been a good 5 years, if not longer than that. I kind of shoot myself in the foot because my horse trainer at the time said like I could have definitely gone to the Olympics. Like I was definitely like a candidate for that, but I was too busy getting high on heroin that I just didn't want to do it anymore because drugs were more important to me than that. And I threw away a whole horseback riding scholarship for dope. Didn't even go to college because I wanted to get high and party. It was more fun to do that. And like, I mean, I feel like people that have that, like, I mean, I don't feel like if I'm on a horse, like nobody can really fuck with me. Like, that's just like my own happy spot. But like, they're really expensive to take care of. Like, this, they're like super expensive to take care of. Like, I've often wanted like a mini horse. Like, I feel like I could be pretty cool with a mini horse, and I could just like do like mini cart riding shows. Yeah, my world title, I hold on to that like with with everything in my body. Like, because you're right, not many people could say they have that. It's actually in it's actually in storage right now though because I don't have any place to put it. I have a big plaque that says, "I'll show you." You know what? I have a picture. I'll show it to you. I'll post it or I'll send it to you through text, and I'll show you when I take a picture of it. Or I already have a picture of it on my phone. But yeah, you can see it. I'll show it to you guys. I don't really show it off like that, but I will. Hmm. Well, like I said, I'm more petrified of a Chihuahua than any pit bull mastiff. I want a mastiff. I think having a mastiff would be pretty sweet. I've always wanted a Doberman. Um, I don't like that you have to put stents in their ears to keep their ears up. Like my sister, she has a German Shepherd um, that they paid quite a bit of money for it, but now they just found out that she's got lupus. Um, and it's like pretty. I didn't even know dogs could have lupus. Like I didn't even know that was even like a possibility. That I thought it was only like humans, but apparently that's not true. Mm. Chance has a slippery slope because yes and no. I feel like if he got sober and he's remained sober, like it would be a different story. But if he's hooked on it, like yeah, it's that's an unfortunate thing about drug addicts. Because if I'm strung out on dope, I'm gonna pick that over anything any day of the week. Does not matter. I picked it over my own family for the most. Yeah, actually, no. I put my parents into a lot of debt. I used to steal like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from their like bank account all the time. I pawned all their jewelry, everything. It didn't matter because that's what drugs do to you, you know. And it's just it's unfortunate. And I hope and pray that he doesn't go back into that because it's awful. You've had a Doberman too, so I've never seen a Doberman with flop. Do they have floppy ears? Can they like or they? I've never seen a Doberman with floppy ears ever. Mm. Like I said, I wish that horse that I won the world title on was mine at the time because the people that own that horse, they sold that thing for a lot of fucking money. I'll tell you that. Like a lot, probably like, upwards of like $500,000. Well, I don't know if you knew this too. Like they're talking about outlawing docking of Rottweilers in the AKC. I don't. I just don't see. I don't like seeing. I just don't think a rot needs a tail. But like, I get it. I get it. I get it. Why people feel the way they feel about cropped ears and docking. But an Australian Shepherd with a tail, like, nah, it wouldn't even look right. But I feel like if it's like getting your cat declawed. Like I don't believe in that at all. And like if you get your cat declawed, you're a really shitty human being for doing that. Because like it's like ripping your damn fingers off of a human. Like I would never do that to a cat. Like that's like their defense mechanism. Although I did have a cat that was declawed and his name was Puffy. He was an outdoor cat. He had like a little notch machine mitching up. Like I think he got into a fight or something, but he didn't have any front claws. And I mean that son of a bitch could like fight and fuck up things without no front claws. He was like like an alley cat though. It was like somebody like got rid of him or they got him declawed because he had no front nails. Hmm. Oh no. They were Ridgebacks were bred to hunt lions. Have you ever seen like a Caucasian Shepherd? They're the Russian prison dogs. Like they look like a fucking bear. They're huge. I've done research on them though, because they're called a oh my god, what the hell is it? Either Caucasian Shepherd or a oh god, a Russian Shepherd. I didn't know that, Janice. That's actually pretty cool. I did not know that. Look at this. I learned something new. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, that it makes sense. I never knew that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they're the Russian Shepherd dogs. They're the prison dogs in Russia. They're the dogs that guard the prisons in Russia. I saw them on that show, Locked Up Abroad. That's actually how I found out what they look like. I was like, oh my god, really? Is that really a breed? But I've done a lot of research on them, and like they're very, very much a one person dog. They're not like a family dog. Like they're just not. They're just better with one person, and they're like really hard to like train. Apparently. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I did with my That's what I did with my That's how I felt. That's how I felt about my man that took his life with his alcohol. And so my brother died from alcohol, and so did well, he died from suicide and alcohol. But I can wholeheartedly say that like watching an alcoholic being an active recovery addict on top of it, watching somebody destroy their lives and being able to finally look at that and be like, that's how I acted and like that's how I was to people in my drug because I mean, people sell their moms, they sell their families for that shit. They do. I mean, I've sold myself for it. I mean, you do off the wall shit for it. It is just it's awful. But at the end of the day, it's like it does nothing matters besides the well for me it was more like nothing mattered between like the syringe and my dope. That's the only thing that mattered. My mom could be dying on her deathbed and I would miss the funeral to get high. I mean, that's the way it is in active addiction. Like it's really sad to watch people and it's really sad to see like, is this what I put my family through and my loved ones through? Yeah, it's awful. I don't wish that upon anybody. And I mean, Janice, I know how you feel about it because like I went through it with Michael with his drinking. It was like he couldn't like the amount of money he blew on alcohol was like a ridiculous. I couldn't understand. Like, I mean, I couldn't really understand. Like, dude, I mean, am I not like enough for you? Like, I don't get it. I don't even drink alcohol. Like, what is this? Like, it was very difficult for me to like comprehend it because I tried so hard to get him to get it. I'm like, you've done it before, man. You had like 2 years prior to this. Like, why can't you do it again? Like, I tried everything under the sun to get this motherfucker to stop drinking, and he just would not stop. And it frustrated the fuck out of me because I'm like, why can't you just stop, dude? Like, why? And that's ultimately why I ended up leaving because I was going to relapse on heroin if I didn't. And that's why I left. I didn't want to leave, but I had to because it was for my own safety. Because if I didn't, I was gonna relapse on heroin and probably die. That's why I left him. Yes, I have your number. Do I not have your number? I don't know if I have it or not. I don't know if I ever got it. Do you have my number, Janice? You guys are the only two in here. Can I type in here? Can I type? Okay, write it down or put it in your phone because I'm just gonna say it because it's just you two in here, and Mark already has my number, so I don't really care. It's 571. That's the area code. 571 581 7182. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is their defense mechanism. Good. Anytime, Janice. Anytime. You can reach me anytime for the most part. Because, like I said, I have like sleep insomnia. So, like, I'm like, I'm up at like the drop of like a pin. If something like wakes me up, I'm up. Like, I can't go back to sleep. It's awful. I hate it because I used to be able to sleep all the time. But now that I'm not on drugs, it makes it difficult. I cut myself off of Seroquel. Well, not all of it, but I still take it for bipolar, but I don't take it to sleep anymore because it's made my face all fucked up and everything. I just don't want to take it anymore. I want to go all like herbal. Like I really want to go all like naturally like herbs because like people are doing just fine without pharmaceutical companies before they came into play. So like I'm pretty sure I could like finagle some sort of herb to like counteract bipolarness. It is cruel. Yeah. That's why my face twitches. Is because of Seroquel. Because I've been on it for so long. It's one of the major long-term side effects of Seroquel use. And I've been on it for well over 15 years. Well over it. Yeah. Michael used to have to like I would wake up. I took it to sleep at night because of PTSD from my narcissistic ex who beat the when I told you the asshole that I put in prison, that guy. Um and I would wake up in the middle of the night with these night terrors. And like I remember telling Mike when I first started dating him, I said, look, man, if I wake up in the middle of the night screaming, like don't wake me up out of a dead sleep because I punched him in the face one time. Like I gave him a black eye and everything, not like on purpose, but like he tried to wake me up and I woke up swinging and like popped him in the face really bad. Actually, I come to think of it, I look back at him like, but yeah, he definitely had a black eye for yeah. But he could, I mean, he used to take videos of it just to show me because like I never knew how I acted. Like when I would wake up in a night terror like that. Uh, but for real, for him being like so emotionally and mentally abusive, not physically, but like when it came to night terrors and shit, he was really like gentle about shit like that. Um, but yeah, I don't. It's gotten better over the year, but I mean, I still have it. It's just never gonna. It's never gonna go away completely, but it's subside. It's gotten a little bit worse, like a little bit worser because I know he's out of prison now. Like I know that for a fact. Like he got out like a month and a half ago on good behavior. Exactly. That's pretty cool. I need to talk to you, Mark, then about holistic things because, like I said, I'm all about crystals. Like I use crystals for everything, and like I'm a firm believer. I believe in that shit, like crystals wholeheartedly. Like I have um like stellanite. Like I have this thing like stellanite towers. Like I have that, and then I have all of my black obsidians and stuff. Like I make elixirs for God's sakes. Well, I'm getting into making elixirs, like drinks wise. Like Amethyst is really good for like sleep. You put it under your pillow. Um, I make lavender tea. Lavender is like my favorite. I love lavender. Lavender is like my hands down. That's actually how I got rid of COVID, I believe, was drinking lavender tea the whole time. Like that's all I drank was tea, and it was lavender tea. That's how I feel like that's why I got over COVID so quickly, and I didn't see that many symptoms of it besides a headache. My psychiatrist won't even. They wouldn't even she wouldn't even take me off of she wouldn't even taper me down off Seroquel. I was taking 450 milligrams to sleep at night, plus 25 in the morning and 25 in the afternoon for my bipolar. Eventually, I got really. It was like I didn't want to take my Seroquel in the morning because I was still fucked up from 450 milligrams of Seroquel. Like it was still in my system. So when I went to her and I said, "Look, man, I don't want to be on this. Like, I mean, you got to take me off this floor. Like, at least bump me down 100 milligrams, dude. Like, I mean," and he's, "Nope, we're not doing it." I'm like, "Well, fuck you then. I'm just gonna do it myself." Being the addict that I am, I'm gonna taper my own self off of this shit because you're not gonna. And that's the shitty part. Like, damn, you're not even gonna listen to me when I tell you to take me, like, at least dose me down. But I'll do it myself. That's fine. So I went from 450 milligrams to dosing myself. It took me about a month. No, it took me about 2 months to get down to like 200. So I eventually was on just 200 milligrams, and then I tapered myself off of 200 down to where I only take 75 milligrams now, if that. And like she can keep filling my prescriptions with that 400. Go ahead, keep filling them because I just have an abundance of Seroquel now. Um, but like, I mean, that's how fucked up the mental world is. Like, I mean, damn, I have to be my own damn psychiatrist and toast myself down because you people don't want me off of it. I feel like people like they just want to keep you. I always thought it was weird that I would have to be sober, like that I'm sober, but I have to take a pill to be happy for the rest of my life. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why the fuck do I have to take a pill to be happy when I did drugs to be happy? Like, it's just weird. Yeah, you would definitely. I would be so interested to know about your past lives. Like, I know you have some pretty cool ones. That's so cool that you have like Native American and you like Cherokee and stuff. That's pretty cool. Hmm. Really? That's so cool. Hmm. Yeah. No, exactly. Like it's I won't dare tell my psychiatrist that as far as she knows, I'm still on 450 milligrams. She don't want to take me off of it. Don't take me off of it because I'm smart enough to know because I'm a drug addict that I can taper myself off of it. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing that with like, you know, in fact, like I didn't even like Suboxones. Like I wasn't Suboxones made me feel like I was still high on dope when I was coming off of dope. I cut them out real quick. I was like, I don't even want these. Subutex is what got me sober the first time. Like I think I was on Suboxone for like a week and I was like, fuck this. I don't want this anymore. Like, nope. Exactly. I mean, I tell people all the time, people will literally come to me and be like, well, how did you get yourself off of that many milligrams? Because remind you, I used to be on lithium too. So like I was on lithium for like 6 months and I pleaded and my mom raised hell as a teenager when I was on lithium, like to get me off of it because it made me want to kill myself. Like it legitimately made me like not a happy person at all. And I had to get off of it. And then and like I'm not gonna sit here and say Seroquel is like horrible because for a very long time it did help me. And like I take it still for my bipolar because if I don't until I find something else that will help me, I'm deathly afraid that if I cut myself off completely, like I'll end up doing something really stupid. in a bipolar manic episode. So that's why I still take it for that until I can find something else that's just as good herbal wise, because it's just, and I've known more about my mental health because of like Mike doing in committing suicide and doing like his mental health issues on top of it. Like I just, it's kind of a slippery slope to play around with that, with me at least, because like I just know that like if I don't take it, like something bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna get shot by the police or something in like a manic episode of some sort. Like it's awful. So what do you take for it? Like, are you like on like herbal? Like, I mean, well, holistic. I mean, I would think that like, yeah, holistic means like herbal stuff, right? Am I right? I mean, I could be fucking wrong. I don't like that Seroquel's made my face twitch. See, like just right there, it just happened. Honestly, that's why I still wear my mask at work. It's not because I'm COVID. It's because my face twitches, and I don't want people to see me like my face twitch because people will think I'm high on like methamphetamines or some sort of upper because my mouth is tweaking. I hate it. That's what I get all the time on TikTok for. Oh my God, you're fucking high. Oh my God, you're tweaking. No, I'm not tweaking at all, man. It's just my face. I'm taking Seroquel. Thank you, Big Pharma, for fucking my face up with that. Ugh, it's awful. Like, and I've noticed like since I've been off of it for nighttime, like I haven't been off of it, but like from tapering down as many milligrams as I have, like I feel better. Like I don't feel like a zombie because like Seroquel is a schizo drug. Like they give it to schizophrenic people. Like that's like the schizophrenic drug. They just found a use that it helped people with bipolar. But so like somewhere like do you have like manic episodes anymore or anything like that? Like has that like subsided? I'm always curious to hear other people's bipolar stories because mine's very weird. Like I'll either have very, very high manic episodes, like I will buy obnoxiously like random things off the internet, like shit I don't need or something that just like compulsive buying shit that I don't need. Or I'm very, very I can have a very, very low manic episode. Um it's like um I don't remember what the fuck I was saying. Shit. I forgot what is this thing. Like this is pretty cool. I have this thing. See here. See, I have like herbs in here. I've got cloves, really good for protection, and rosemary and thyme. And thyme is a natural anesthetic. Found that out recently too. It's actually used as that for an anesthetic. And lavender. That's just true. Yeah. See, like I have this. This is like this is like is it citrine? I don't know what the name of it is, but it's like oh my God, what is it? Like a cast. God, there's so many damn crystal names. I cannot keep them in order. It's not citrine because that's the yellow one. Calcite, maybe, but it's like a bowl. I love this thing. This thing is like awesome. I love it so much. I love it. It smells so good too. Well, yeah, because methadone has a huge half life. I also don't really support methadone because it's like Adderall. It's just the government's legal speed. I mean, legal heroin because you're still technically taking an opiate. It's just synthetic. So why the fuck would I want to take something that if I was a dope head that had opiates in it? Like that's where I come that or people that are on that. Like I have a friend who has been on methadone for 13 fucking years. Like there's no reason you need to be on that shit for 13 years. There's no reason. What the fuck are you still on it for? What? Like I don't or the people that are on Suboxone for like 10 plus years. Like I mean, I get mad. I understand like taking Suboxone and stuff like that is like not being high per se, but like I mean, dude, you don't need to be on that shit for more than fucking like 3 years. If that, I don't even think you need to be on it for more than a year because scientifically proven opiates take up to a year to completely detox them out of your entire system if you are a heavily user. So if you're banging like I mean, I think at one point I had like a over $1,000 habit at one point where I was banging like point 1.1 shots, like at an outrageous amount. My tolerance was so fucking high. Like, I mean, yeah, it took a year for it to be like completely out of my body, 100%. Oh God, lithium is worse. Lithium. Yeah, you were telling me about that. I mean, well, Adderall has helped me. Like, I never abused Adderall, but I did find out very quickly when I did methamphetamines for the first time ever in my life that like it didn't make me wig out. It made me focus. Like I could focus on it because it's like basically the same thing as an Adderall, except a lot more harder chemicals in it, I guess. I definitely needed to be put on Ritalin and Adderall. Like I'm definitely the poster child for ADHD, like or ADD back in the day. Like definitely the poster child for it. um, but like, I mean, like I said, these people are on methadone for 13 plus years now. She's going on like 14 years that this chick has been on methadone. I mean, is it like, I feel like it's a crutch and I feel like, you just don't want to get off of it because you're afraid of getting off of it. But like, it's a synthetic opiate. So the government made it in a lab and insurance doesn't cover it. That shit I've heard is expensive as fuck for each dose you get. And like, you have to be at the methadone clinic at like 9 o'clock. If you're like a second late, you don't get it. Like, I don't have any reason. Nope. Mm-mm. I see where a lithium did not work for me at all. It made me want to kill myself. Like, I mean, like that and Depakote. Well, I took Depakote at 14, but lithium, like literally, like I couldn't. It was not. It just. But see, that's the thing though. Lithium works for some people. Like my friend takes it and it works for him. I mean, he thrives off of it, and it works for him. It didn't work for me. But then there's people that take Seroquel and it does not work for them at all. But Seroquel seemed to be the only thing that helped me, like with my mood, to stable out. So like it helps different people. Different people have different things, but like it sucks to have a mental health issue. It really fucking does. Mm. See, yeah, mine is like mine's more like I have more. I think I have more lows than I do highs, but like I've had my manic highs have been like only really like when I like okay, prime example, methamphetamine, you do not need to be doing that shit if you are bipolar. Okay, like it just not is not like staying up for 10 days on end without going to sleep. Like that's just not something you want to do if somebody's got manic, bipolar or manic, just manic in general. It's not the right drug, which is probably why I did opiates so hard because they didn't make me feel like that. And I could like shut everything out and shut everything down. and not have to feel a goddamn thing. Um, but like when I say high, like my manic highs, like it's more like I've had a couple like where like my mom called the police on me when I was detoxing off of drugs, but it was definitely a combination of detoxing off of drugs and having a manic episode because I had been off of heroin for like maybe not even 24 hours. It was I don't even think I think it was I'd say it would take me about 3 hours after I took a shot of dope. Like 3 hours later, I'd be in like deathly withdrawals. Like I would have to shoot up every 3 hours. Mhm. And then if I didn't, it was like awful. So I had that, and then the manic buying random shit that I like don't know. But like a lot of the times, it is low. I feel a lot of the times like I don't know too many people with bipolar that have actually like off themselves per se. Like I don't, not saying that doesn't happen because I'm sure it does, but like I have literally been in places where it's been like really low, where like I just don't feel like I matter to anybody, which is probably depression too on top of it. But like I go through those spurts of like I'll be really, really, really like great and energetic and everything like that, and the next day it's like there is no like mellowing out either. Yes, yeah, marijuana. Thank you. But I'm not sober because I smoke marijuana. I'm not sober because I smoke weed. Well, it helps me, and I don't consider it a drug because God or whoever you want to call it put it on this earth for a reason, and it's an herb. So I'm also a believer in taking mushrooms if you microdose them or you know microdosing. I can see microdosing acid, um, pure MDMA, like in microdosing though. Hmm. Well, yeah, and you use okay. Well, I mean, I've almost every opiate addict I've ever met used opiates to not feel anything. That's why I used them when I found dope, real dope, not fentanyl, not this bullshit that's out now, like real heroin. The first time I ever did it, I found where I fit in this world because it was the exact thing I had been looking for my whole life. I just did not feel a goddamn thing, and it was great. Loved it. I was like, this is how everybody's supposed to feel. And then when I got clean and I had to feel my emotions again and all my other shit, it was really difficult to do. That's why I like social like see, I'm not a social person, but like social media, I can get with social media and do these kind of like lives and stuff like that because it makes me social without being in a room full of people. Like I don't like being around like a lot of people. I get very, 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 very anxiety, like social anxiety. Like I get very, very anxious. But I can look back at being a child and know that like I definitely had bipolar as a child. There's no way I didn't have it. It's just it wasn't talked of. I was like the test dummy. We were like the test dummies for Adderall. That's what we were. I mean, that's what I mean. We were test dummies to see if Adderall would work for that. And it, oh, like I take gabapentin. That's something else I take. I take gabapentin for pain, but I also take it for anxiety because I can't take Xanax. Like I don't like Xanax either, but I just can't take it because it doesn't awful feelings. Hmm. I'm not. I don't like it. And I'm a Libra. Libras are social butterflies, but I'm not. I don't like. I'm very much an introvert. Even when I was using drugs, like I would go get my shit and come back to my house and just sit in my room and do it. Like I didn't have to be around anybody. I would just literally go get it and come back to my house and sit in my bedroom. My 21st birthday, I didn't even drink alcohol. I sat in my room and shot heroin the entire day. Didn't even go out or do anything fun. And like, I'm very selective of who I hang around with too, because I'm very, like, my circle is very small. And you find out really who your true friends are when you go to jail, prison, or rehab. That's a really hard pill to swallow because I did not think that it was really like that until I went to rehab and jail and then really, really, really found out who the fuck your real friends were when you go away. Yeah, that's how I figured it out. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, yeah, 100%. I notice it like when I do like mediumship stuff, or if I'm doing like if I'm really into like empathic like readings, like I do notice that like a lot of times like that's why I don't do my mediumship on TikTok lives anymore because it just my I at the end like I get so my energy and like my emotions like it's I mean it gets to the point where like I used to be able to do it all the time but like I get drained so easily doing it. um and you got to learn how to ground it. You can't. That's why being an empath sucks sometimes because like you'll see it like if you ever come in like one of my lives and like it's like a I'm doing reading after reading after reading and I don't stop because I just keep going and going and going and then by the time it's all said and done like I've worn myself out so bad that like I'll be in like a like depression for like the next day. Like I'll shut everything like out of this electronics, everything, just to get my energy back because it's like I'll just go and go and go and go. And then when you put emotions and feeling other people's emotions on top of your own emotions, on top of everything else in this goddamn world, it's like, oh God, when does this stop? Which is why I feel so empathic with animals. Like that's I love the fact that I can like empathic with animals because I would rather be around an animal than a human any day of the week. For real. Trust me, Mark, I'm trying to still learn how to love myself every day of my life, dude. Like I don't love myself really at all. I have to wake up and say fucking affirmations for God's sakes, dude. Like every morning I have to say wake up and say I love myself. And I do shadow work. Like the shadow work is like I've slacked on shadow work, but like I got a book the other day, well, a couple weeks ago, for shadow work, but it was based off tarot and like I've looked at some of the stuff they want me to write down and I'm like, oh God, like I don't even want to touch that subject, but I have to because you you can't really love anybody until you love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? And it's not so much like it's the way I was raised or the way people treated me or the way men treated me, like just retarded things to make me feel the way I feel about myself. Um, In fact, I when Michael died, I literally I'll stress eat like a lot of the times. Like if I'm in like a huge like depression state, like I'll eat pasta and pizza and that's all I eat. So like I weighed like 200 pounds like 2 years ago, and I like woke up on January and I was like, I gotta change my life. I can't I can't do this anymore. I felt so like unhealthy and so sickening because like I never weighed 200 pounds in my life ever, never, not once. And I did the keto diet thing for like 4 months until it got expensive. But like I saw from 2020 to 2021, I'm sorry, from the end of 2020 to the beginning of 2021 to now 2022, I weigh 145 pounds now. So within a year or so, I've lost, I can't do the math, like 70 some pounds. Um, and it's crazy because I did it without any drugs. Like I did with no cocaine. I didn't do it with meth. I didn't do it with Adderall. Like I didn't do it with any sort of like drug. I did it just with keto. And then like after I couldn't afford keto, I just practiced and applied. Like you can eat Whopper at Burger King. As long as you don't get a bun, it's keto friendly. So that means it's telling me that every single pretty much calorie is in the bun at Burger King. But you could definitely eat it as long as you don't eat the bun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, they did take witchcraft as evil. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. 100%. The people that do stay on it, yeah, they don't want to be sober. Nope. Or they want to sell it like Suboxone. That's a big thing with Suboxone with me. You cannot tell me because strips of Suboxone, and I've known this from Joey. I mean, a strip in prison goes for a lot of fucking money. Okay, people sell these on the street for a lot of fucking money. So if you are taking Suboxone like you're supposed to, okay, fine, but are you really taking it to help you, or are you taking it because you can sell it? Because when I went to the hospital and had that crazy meningitis from shooting bath salts that almost killed me, I was in the ICU for a month. When I got out of the ICU, they wanted to hand me a bunch of Roxy 30s. They were like, here, we're gonna give you a script for like 50 Roxy 30s. I said, you can take that script and shove it up your ass. I'm not taking it. I said, do you understand? Like, if you give me a script of 50 Roxy 30s, I'm going to die because I'm not going to take none of them. I'm going to sell them and I'm going to go right back into using heroin. So I told him I didn't want them because I was like, no, I refuse. I refuse that. Like, don't you dare give me that shit. It was nice to get a Dilaudid shot and a morphine shot in the hospital, yes, but like, don't you dare give me a prescription for fucking Roxy 30s. You are fucking out of your mind when you know damn well, good and well, that I'm an opiate addict in recovery. So why the fuck would you give me 50 Roxy 30s? Why would you even think that that was a good idea to do? Which is what makes me proud of myself for doing it because I'm like, damn, I said no to Roxy 30s, but yeah, that's the thing about Suboxone. Almost everybody I know that's on Suboxone sells their Suboxone strips. You're not using it. You're simply getting it to sell it. Methadone, you can't really do that because you go to a clinic, so you can't really like. I don't think you can really like sell methadone like that unless you're getting it from like the source completely. Yeah, 80 milligram oxys. Yeah. Well, so I got hooked on opiates because I broke my back. So when I broke my back, they gave me outrageous amount of opiates. They gave me an outrageous amount of Roxy 30s and those old school 80 oxys. I mean, like a lot of pills. And you're right. Then your habit grows. We're not habit at the time. Your tolerance gets so crazy that, and then they just cut you off. They're like, oh, huh, well, you know what? We just pumped you full of a bunch of opiates for a year and a half, but we're gonna cut you off completely. We're not even gonna dose you down or nothing. We're just gonna cut you off completely off of taking an outrageous amount of opiates, which is in turn what led me to go to the city to get high because I found out it was cheaper and way more potent to get dope off the street than to take a Roxy 30. So congratulations, doctors. I broke my back and you made me a opiate head. Like, I mean, the outrageous amount of pills, and I'm sure you got it too. I mean, yeah, you just said you just said you got it. Yeah, it is not. Hell no. I mean, you just can't even like I said, I was nice taking a Dilaudid shot and morphine shot in the hospital for once or twice, and a fentanyl patch once because they made me do that for my brain. Oh no, my brain, I had 6 spinal taps in less than a week, and I refused to let them do my spinal tap unless they like gave me some sort of like sedative, opiate, whatever you want to call it, because I was like, I'm not gonna do this fucking spinal tap shit. It hurts way too much. Like no, mm-mm. Um, and I got to be a pick line every time I go in the hospital. They can't even put a fucking IV in me. It has to be a pick line every time, which sucks even more because then you got to do that whole thing. Oh, I fucking hate it. It's awful. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad. Mm-mm. No, because the object of quitting is to get off of all substances. Weed is not in that category. I'm not going to put weed in the drug category. I'm not going to put it in that category because I don't care. Weed is not a drug to me. Um, but the girl that's been on it for 14 years, she's scared to be off of it. She don't want to be off of it because it's a crutch, and she knows that if she gets off of it, then what's going to happen? Oh my God, if I get off of it, I'm going to feel some type of way. Yeah, you are going to feel some type of way, but there's no reason for you to be on that bitch for 14 years. But you know, that's her. I refuse. I've never taken methadone in my life. They tried to put me on that shit, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not going to take your heroin, government. I'm not going to take your heroin. You cannot. I'm not. No. Hell no. I'm not taking that shit. I mean, how it baffles me because it's like I said, it's a synthetic opiate. So why the fuck are you giving it to people that are trying to come off of opiates? In my mind, it's just the government's way to control you to an extent because you already are zombied the fuck out, and you have to go to a clinic to get it, and they just dose you and dose you and dose you and dose you and keep you zombied because it's easier to keep a junkie at bay than being out stealing and robbing people's houses and shit to get their fix. So it's just the government's way to keep them high so they're not doing any crimes. That's my take on it. That's my theory on the whole situation. Like for real. One of my theories on it. You just can't fathom taking an opiate to get off of opiates. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. Like it just doesn't make sense at all. Yeah. You know what? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Depakote ain't no joke, dude. That shit is not, you don't. Nope. One of the major side effects is if you think of thoughts of suicide, call a doctor immediately. How the fuck are you gonna give that to somebody that's already attempted suicide? Why would you give that to like that's the first side effect? I had a friend, actually the girl that I got my first felony charge with, her brother in 2002, he was very bipolar and they had him on I don't know, something, and they were trying out new drugs, I guess, and he was a depressed kid, like he had some issues, and like they woke up the next day and he was hanging in his basement, in their basement. Like, I mean, he hung himself. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, I mean, it was like, and here's a kid that tried to do really good and was doing everything they said they do, and then they put him on this crazy fucking medication. That one of the side effects was if you have thoughts of suicide, when he clearly had thoughts of suicide, he attempted suicide before and he just did it this time. Like, what? That's crazy. Like, why would you give somebody that? Why the fuck would you even? Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, Depakote. I mean, I was on Depakote and all I thought about was killing myself. From the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep were thoughts of suicide. Coming from somebody that has attempted suicide more times than you could count. Well, I can't even tell you how many times I've tried. Um, and I told my mom that's something like my mom is not like my mom's got depression and shit, but that's something that like I had a very big serious talk with her about. I was like, you have got to get these people to get me off of Depakote. I was like, because I'm just thinking about it. I just think about it all day, every day. Like I need to be off of it. Like I can't be on this shit anymore. And that's what my mom raised hell about it. She's like, no, man, my daughter's like thinking of like, thinking of killing herself every day from the morning she wakes up to the time she goes to sleep. Get her the fuck off of this shit. She's not taking it anymore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. 100%. I'm very in tune with my, for the most part, with my mental health because like I have borderline personality disorder too, but like I'm very much aware. Like, so like, I mean, I guess you could put about like a part of me doesn't want to be off Seroquel because it's helped me so much, but another part of me is like, I need to get the fuck off of this because it's just not worth it anymore. But I'm scared to change because I'm scared that like if I do change and I do go like herbal or whatever, that like, it's the fear of change, I guess, really what it comes down to it is like, is it gonna, I mean, is it gonna work? Like, type thing. But my insurance doesn't cover holistic doctors, apparently, because I looked into it. My insurance don't even cover my therapy, and I used to pay $250 cash money a session until I stopped going to therapy because it was just too much. I was like, I can't fucking afford this shit, dude. Can't afford it. Like, I cannot fucking afford it. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Your body and your brain. But like you said, the human body is an amazing. It's amazing how your brain and how your body recovers and from itself or recovers from sicknesses or anything like that. It's 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 crazy. Then you add hypochondriac into it because I'm a huge hypochondriac. I didn't even tell nobody about that either. It's like I'm a huge hypochondriac. Like I think I'm gonna die when I get cut. Like if I just like even slice my finger a little bit, I'm like I'm gonna die. Wow, that's crazy. Was not crazy. No pun intended. Oh shit. Uh, like, yeah, I don't know. Like my when I got when I was into bath salts and I went to the hospital because like it legit had a fungus in my brain. They literally killed me. I used to get this outrageous migraines. Like, I mean, they were so bad that like I couldn't even sit in light. Like I had to sit in the dark all the time. It was just awful. And it was directly related to research chemicals and shooting bath salts in my body. Like it was, they did papers on me. That's how crazy it was. I felt like a fucking test subject in a petri dish for like a month and a half in the ICU in like a quarantine closed off room. Um, but it made I would have these episodes where like I could be standing up and I would just like pass out immediately. Like, I mean, it would be like I pass out standing up and like, like hit the ground like hard as shit. Like it just black out and just pass out due to whatever lack of oxygen or whatever the fuck it was to my brain. And like it would just happen randomly. And I didn't even know what the hell it was because I mean, I took an MRI and that's when they found out about it. And then they called me on the phone. They said, you need to be in the hospital immediately. And I was like, fuck, this is bullshit. The one time I go to the hospital in 10 years, they get fucking this bullshit happens to me. They couldn't figure out what it was at first. I think I was tested for AIDS about 17 times. They tested me. They thought I had TB on top of it. I had 6 spinal taps, a CAT scan, MRIs, the whole 9 yards, and then I'd have to take these infusions. Even when I got out of the hospital, I still had to go to the hospital and take the infusions. And I've never had chemo. I've never had cancer. But if I had to relate what the fuck these injections were like, I would relate it towards somebody that was going through chemo because the whatever the medication was, like it was tearing my body like up. Like I couldn't, I had to sit there for like 3 hours while this infusion would go, and I'm like, it made me like. I like that's what I'm saying. I mean, like if I had ever had chemo, like that's the closest thing I could like say that like that's what this drug felt like. It helped me, but it was awful, like awful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that leaves you the question, like, what the fuck is in food in prison? Because in jail, you get these, like, I don't know how it was for like men's jails, but in women's jails, dude, like within like a month, like I had this skin shit that was like, nobody knew what the fuck it was, but we all had it. It was like I can't even tell you, but it was like all over my hands. Like my hands would like blister and shit. And it was like, what the fuck is in this food or what the fuck is in this jail that's making everybody get all this fucking bullshit on their hands and like on their faces? Like one girl had it all over her face. Like it was, I mean, it was awful. Like, and oh, it's just like eczema. That's not fucking eczema. I don't care what the fuck you say. That's not eczema. That's something completely different. I don't know what the fuck it is, but you need to figure it out because I mean, it was so bad that would like, we would itch like our hands raw, like constantly itching our hands to the point where I had to put gloves on at one point in order to even just stop itching. Yeah. Well, that's like it goes to like the electric shock therapy shit. Well, they were gonna do that to Mike. Um, they did it. This girl Kim that's friends with me on TikTok, she had it done under the notion that well, actually she didn't even know what was happening. They made her sign a piece of paper and she signed the piece of paper and she was drugged up when she signed the piece of paper. And I mean they did this electric shock therapy on her like I don't know, a bunch of times without her even like knowing that that's what they were doing. She was a test dummy for it. They were going to do it with Mike just to zap his brain and like that was gonna function and make him not an addict anymore, which is bullshit. You might as well give him a lobotomy at that point. Test dummies. That's what it is. The test dummy. You use humans to test bullshit. You should see me when I had COVID, because my mom and dad had it too, and like it was it was something else. I stayed in my fucking bedroom the entire fucking time. Well, you saw me. I was doing lives when I had it, but I was fucking having a field day panic attack about that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like this is not okay. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And then like my mom, like I got better, and I'm like, stay away from me. Like don't get near me. Like you still have it. Like go over there somewhere. Like I don't want to be around it, because I fought so hard for 2 years and I never caught it. And I don't know how I don't even know why the fuck I caught it this time. It's fucked up, is what it is. I'm like, damn it. But I also believe that my immune system is the way it is because when I was a kid, I played in the dirt and I ate mud, and I wasn't glued to a laptop or a cell phone or an iPad. I feel like that's why my immune system is the way it was or is, because like I said, I rarely ever get sick. Like rarely. It doesn't happen. But when I do get sick, it's catastrophic. Well, you know what they say? Um, Tattoo people, I see this on TikTok. They say, what is this? I don't remember how it went, but apparently men are more prone to having tattoos that hurt more than like, or they can't get tattoos in certain spots or whatever, but women can get it done and it's not an issue. Something like that type thing. I know how you feel with the migraines, dude. Like I can't even imagine. I mean, I can imagine because I've had them. Like, I mean, we're like the light and a sound, any sort of light or sound. Yeah, but mainly light with mine. But I mean, it's crazy when you have something like that in your brain. I mean, I literally was growing mushrooms in my brain. That's the what this bath salts did to me. It grew mushrooms in my brain. Like, I mean, it. But here's the crazy part: a normal person would have said, "Fuck that! I'm not doing bath salts again." I waited like 5 months, but I did it again after what had happened to me. I mean, it almost killed me, and I did it again like 4 months after being out. Yeah. Bless your heart. Mm. Oh, that's so awful, Mark. I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. That's how I feel. I mean, I know it's different. Like that's how I feel about my back. Like, I mean, my back hurts. It's been hurting ever since I got broken at 13. But like, I mean, I used to take pain medication for it. I used to do all that shit. But like now, it's just like I deal with it. But there are days like sometimes that's why I'm glad I moved to South Carolina, because Virginia's so cold in the wintertime. Like I can feel it more so in the cold. Like when it starts to get really cold is like when I feel it really the most. And like I hate it. So like yeah, I mean it gets cold here, but it's not like I mean it's not like it's like Yeah, like the headaches that you feel like you're getting, like I just know that mine were like you feel like felt like I was getting like repeatedly hit in the head with a sledgehammer, and that's how I felt on COVID. I didn't have any symptoms besides coughing, but my head felt like I had a 2 million pound weight in it for like a week and a half. Like it was like awful. It was the worst. And people don't understand that. Like migraines will take a lot out of you. Like I mean, it'll put you feeling some type of way. Like not like panic attacks, or people are like, oh man, panic attacks aren't like you just being a bitch. I don't know, because apparently you've never had a panic attack before, dude. Because I know every time I have a panic attack, after it's all said and done, like I have no energy and I hurt. Like I absolutely have no energy and no like emphasis to like even move. Like it's drained that much out of me. So that's what I'm saying. People that have never had a panic attack don't get it either, because they're like, oh yeah, man, just quit being a bitch. I it's trust me, man. If I could like not have a panic attack, I would. I absolutely hate it, and like I know when it's coming, but I refuse to take Xanax. Like I refuse to take Xanax or Klonopins or anything like that, because it is a narcotic, and I don't want to take it because of that. Well, okay, so like real ecstasy, pure MDMA is made from a sassafras tree. There's no more sassafras trees left. So pure ecstasy, like back in the day, like in the 90s and like the early 2000s, like yeah, it would be different, because like those you hear people, you've heard like shamans and people like dosing like more micro dosing like pure MDMA. I mean, you can't even do it anymore because there's no sassafras trees left. So like you can't even get pure MDMA like that. So when they came around with these research chemicals like spice and fucking bath salts, I'll tell you why. The whole 5 years I was on felony probation, I got fucking high on bath salts because they couldn't test for it. And I've never spoken of that until just now. But yeah, my whole 5 years on felony probation, yeah, I didn't touch heroin, but I found a loophole because oh, you can't test for bath salts, and if you do, they tweak the chemical and then it's legal. So that's how I got away with passing my piss test, because I knew I could get high on bath salts and not have to worry about it. Yep, way to beat the system, Lauren, because they can't test for it. And that's the difference. Like you don't know what you're getting with these research chemicals, because it's not like it's measured out. It's not like, in a lab measured by like people that know what the fuck they're doing. It's made in like a fucking tea tree hut, or tea tree hut, like a tiki hut. I was gonna say, I said tea tree. It's like a tiki hut in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah. Oh, it's next to a heroin rush. It's my favorite rush to do. It's probably almost tied with heroin, but like I haven't done it in like since I went. No, I would say like legitly been off bath salts for probably about 3.5 years, maybe 3 years. Like legit been off of it. Like I haven't touched it. Um, because that's the whole reason I went to the hospital. Like my doctor told me, well, my infectious disease doctor told me that if I had waited, he said, I don't even want to give you 7 days, Lauren. He said, if you had waited like 2 days, he said, you would have died. Like there would have been no way around it. Like they would have found you dead. Like, I mean, it was so bad to the point where like they caught it literally 3 days before I would have died. Um, which I don't know, a normal person that would scare the shit out of you. It didn't really scare me because I'm like, oh shit, cool. Am I gonna die? Sweet. Okay. At least I won't be here anymore, because like at that point, that's how I felt. I mean, any heroin addict will tell you, give me the shit that's killing people. I want that shit. That's the sickening part about Drugs, period. Like, oh no, I want the drug that killed that person. Like, I want that. Like, give me that one. Because believe it or not, Mark, I for a good long time I cursed God every day that He woke me up. Like, doing the same dope that killed my friends didn't kill me. Um, like, I mean, it's pretty sad when it's like when you're like you just don't give a fuck anymore about life when you're on that kind of shit because you just don't care about anything. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Hmm. I've never been hit with Narcan. I have never had the fortunates of being hit with Narcan. I've OD'd once, and I came to before they could hit me with it. So I have never been hit with Narcan, but I carry it with me everywhere I go. My parents have it. I gave it to my parents. I have it in my car. I carry it in my purse just in case. And I remember giving it to my mom. My mom be like, "Why do I need this?" I'd be like, "I'm not saying I'm gonna relapse or anything, mom, but like if for some odd reason I do, I want you to be able to have this so you could hit me with it." But Narcan ain't even doing it for people that are on fentanyl and shit because Narcan was made for heroin. That's what it was made for. And I mean, it's not even helping people come out of heroin like overdoses anymore or fentanyl doses, whatever you want to call it. Yep. Give me my next dope. All I cared was like, who can I rob to get my fix? And God help you. God help you if you were standing in my way when I was dope sick getting my drug because like you were gonna die or get very badly hurt. God forbid you stood in the way of me and my drug. And my mom would be like, I can't believe you care about heroin more. Yeah, you're damn right I care about more heroin than I care about anybody because I don't even give a fuck about my own life. But why the fuck would I care about anybody else's life? I don't even care about my own. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. It's, I don't know. It's just like, I know it doesn't make me a bad person or anything. Like, I mean, I can sit here. I mean, like I said, I'm not ashamed to be an addict at all. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't, people are like, oh my God, how can you not? I'm not ashamed of it because, like, at the end of the day, it made me who I was today. Like, would I go back and change it? I can't say I would, yes or no, fully. I can't go back and say, like, if I would change it and never had done it, or if I just would have done it. Like, I can't give a definite answer to that because I don't know. But why should anybody be ashamed of that? I mean, I can see why people would be ashamed of it, but like that's what gets under my skin on TikTok. That's what makes me like want to quit and quit doing everything is the fucking bullying about being high or being a piece of shit. Like, don't bring in like that bullshit. I'm talking about I'm a junkie piece of shit. Like I've actually had cops literally tell me in my face, "Fuck you, junkie. We don't give a fuck." Cops are supposed to carry Narcan. I have never in my life seen a cop hit anybody with Narcan. But lo and behold, I come out with Narcan and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to hit this dude with Narcan because he's dying and you're too fucking stupid. And you have your morals or whatever about, we don't get one less fucking junkie on the street. Fuck you, dude. They're people, they're human beings that have an addiction problem. But for you to sit here and say, well, we don't give a fuck about you guys, like that says a lot about your character as a person, generally speaking. And it gets me when people bitch about syringes. Oh my God, a diabetic has to pay for his syringes. Would you? Would you rather? I've gone into pharmacies when in active using and been like, let me get this, and this. And people be like, oh no. And I'd be like, would you rather me pick up a needle off the street and use it that's dirty, or would you rather me be safe? Because we could go both ways, because I've definitely used other people's needles. I have definitely sat in a room where only four people and one person had a needle and I was dope sick. You're damn right I was using that needle before yep, I 100%. It would not have mattered, because when you're sick, you're sick. And if anybody tells you differently that uses needles, says they would never use a needle like that or anybody else's needle when they strung the fuck out, they're totally full of shit, because you definitely would if you were. But that's only for needle users. People that don't use the needle, like, do it different ways or whatever. But like as far as like the needle goes, yes. 100%. I mean, that's how much you don't care. Like fuck it, if I catch up, see it, well, whatever it is, what it is. What like it's crazy as shit. That's crazy. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah, it is. I do have very, very, very much sympathy for people that are in that are in the junkie phase of their lives, because I know what it feels like to not care if you live or die. I know what it feels like to not give a fuck about anything and to just not feel a goddamn thing. Like I fucking and I'm like I said, I'm being an empath. Like I mean, it's fucking fucked up feeling my own emotions. Like I feel other people's emotions, and it's like a catch 22. It's like, man, I don't even want to feel my own fucking emotions, let alone yours. But I do definitely believe that we are here for a reason. Like I can remember when my brother passed away. Until this day, I still don't think I've really comprehended his death, because it was easy because Mike died a year later, so I could like put him on the back burner and just focus on Mike. So like theoretically, I didn't really deal with my brother's death. It'll be 3 years in December. Um, but I can remember when he passed away and we found out. I can remember the first thing I said was, "Well, what is this lesson about?" Because I couldn't understand. He was my best friend. I couldn't understand why God or whatever. Why did he take him the way he took him? But then, because me being into past lives and reincarnation and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that was like literally the first thing I asked myself was like, "Well, what is the lesson in this? Like, what was the lesson that he was here to teach me?" Same with Michael. I did the same thing with Michael. I'm like, well, what does this have to do with like what lesson does this have to do? Um, because obviously it was their time to go. So like I still kind of like feel like I mean not so much with Michael, because Michael taught me to be a compassionate person more so than I was. And I don't really know. My brother probably just I don't it's still kind of like an iffy question. Because it makes you think like, damn, everything's a lesson in this world. Earth is just a schoolhouse. You're here to learn something. So whenever it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But it's nerve wracking when you're like, what was I put on Earth to do? you know? But mm, it's, it, it's interesting. We'll see what I come back in the next life. If God damn. Yeah. Well, they say a lot of times like, well, with where heroin addicts get where heroin addicts get end up dying if they've had like an substantial amount of sobriety. I'll put it to you this way: I had 6 years before I relapsed the first time of that asshole. 6 years. I had 6 years. I had not put a drug in my body, not even weed. And when I relapsed on heroin, it didn't even take a day for my tolerance to go right back to where it was. Like, granted, I didn't bang a gram and a half shot after not doing it for 6 years. No, because I'm a smart drug addict. Well, I can sit here and say I'm a smart junkie because I did it in like a microdose because I felt like if I could always get higher, I could unhigh myself. That's how I did it. But yeah, within a day, like my tolerance was right back to where it was, literally. Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm off smoking, like I'm on TikTok because like apparently you can smoke on YouTube, but on TikTok you're like, oh no, I gotta be off camera in order to smoke because they'll ban you immediately. Hmm. You're 100% right, Mark. You are 100% right. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because yeah, like I think about like people ask me all the time. They're like, why would you relapse over the douchebag that you put away that beat the shit out of you and was killed you? Well, one would ask, how did I stay sober for 6 years with him constantly beating the shit out of me every day of my life? But I do know that like people say, "Oh, you take it one day at a time." Like I don't take it one day at a time because I can't promise you I'll be sober tomorrow. I can promise you right now that I'm sober, and I can't promise you like 5 minutes from now I'll be sober. But for right this second, yes. Um, because I didn't think I thought I had it all with the 6 years the first time. I worked the program. I did everything I was supposed to be doing, and as soon as the needle came in front of my face, I was off to the races. So I've learned from this go around that if I can't, it doesn't matter how long you've had sobriety. It doesn't matter how long you've been sober for. It can be taken away from you immediately, like within a second. Everything can go back to what it was, or you could die. I just full wholeheartedly believe that if I touch heroin again, like I'm gonna die. There's gonna be no jail, rehabs, no nothing. I'm gonna die, and like I think that's why like I don't do it because of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are days when I'm like, I would love to take a shot of heroin right now. I'd love it. But what would it do? You'd keep me fucked up for like 5 minutes and I'd feel miserable. Cause like I felt when I took the 6 years down the drain the first time, I felt so shitty that I let a dude take my ass out and throw away 6 years of sobriety that I worked really hard for a, a needle and a bag of dope, which is probably why it sent me even more into a spiral because I was like, well, fuck it. I for a very long time I kicked myself in the ass for doing it because I was like, man, how can you be so stupid, Lauren? Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I might have. Well, 2 nights ago, I was in my friend's who hasn't been on TikTok in a long time. She took a break because the same reason I took a break. She just couldn't stand the mental health factor, which is why I stopped TikTok for right when I started the YouTube thing because it just mental health was just suffering so bad. But anyway, she's back on TikTok after not being on for like quite some time, probably like a good 6 or 7 months. And she's a she's an empath, but she's also a she's got every single clairvoyant, like clair audio, clairvoyance, the whole like 7 million different C words that you have in the spirituality community. Um, like where she can smell, like, I mean, she says all the time, she'll be like, I smell lavender, and I'm like burning lavender incense. Like it's like, she lives in Kentucky, so it's crazy how that works. But it's nuts because I had been talking about my birth mom like a couple days prior to her being on live, because it comes up randomly, and I don't talk about it like that because it's, it's a sensitive subject, which is why I feel like my drug addiction was also really bad, was because of my adoption. And I don't know, because like I said, I don't know nothing about my mom like that. I know she was a dope head, and for a long time, well, actually, up until like a couple years ago, like I had a sneaky suspicion that she was probably dead. To be honest, like I mean, like I kind of was like, nah, man, she's not alive. She's definitely dead. Because I know, like, if she was strung out on heroin in the '87 when I was born, and she was still, God forbid, doing it, like she probably definitely died. Well, she picked up my mom, spirit wise. Her name's Cindy. That's my mom's name. She had no recollection. She had no idea that was her fucking name. I had told nobody in their right mind what her name was. And she came through, and like, I mean, it was in it. I am telling you, when I say like, damn, this bitch like nailed everything on the head correctly, straight, because I got so much closure that like everything that I thought happened. And for a really long time, I really wanted to believe that, like, I mean, I cursed her out and said, fuck her for being the way she was, because, if you really want technical with it, I was born addicted to heroin. So I didn't choose that life, man. My mom was just getting fucked up when I was in her stomach. So, like, when people say it's a choice, it really pisses me off, because it's like, I didn't choose to be addicted to it. I was born addicted to it. But yeah, did I choose to put a needle in my arm? Yes. Okay, so fine, there's your choice. But she was going on and telling me, and this is how crazy it is, how accurate she was, because she said she's talking about a park, and like every Sunday after church, we would go to this park every Sunday. I never spoke of it. And then she said that my mom would be like at a distance watching me, but I didn't know it was her. So like, long story short, it came to the point where she said that Sam was like, well, I truly believe that she was very sick when she had you. And now, mind you, it's probably AIDS. To be honest, like the way it went, that's probably what it was. That she caught AIDS with dirty needles and all that kind of shit. Because I can remember my mom telling me that my pediatrician made them give me an AIDS test, because they weren't sure if I had it or not at the time, I guess, whatever. And that she passed away or whatever. So, but it was crazy how the whole thing fell into pieces. Like, I mean, I literally got so much closure that I've never had that much closure on it before, like ever, because mine was a closed adoption. I can't even get my records; they're completely sealed. I can't get them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, we were talking about it. She told me this 2 nights ago. It's not yesterday, the night before yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Hmm. Yeah, it's weird. It's crazy how things like that happen. Um, I mean, she cried in it, and it was so weird because it wasn't even like I was in her live for maybe about 5 minutes. She's like, Lauren, I don't know, man. You've been thinking about your mom recently, and I'm like, my mom. I mean, she knew I was adopted, but I thought she was talking about my mom. I'm like, I don't know. And she said, no, 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 your birth mom. And I was like, holy shit, how the fuck did you even know that? You haven't been on TikTok. Like, I mean, she knows very little about my adoption, but she knows I was adopted. Um, because that's something I keep very, very like hidden away, because it hurts a lot to bring it up. Uh, a lot. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's crazy how that happened. I was like, whoa, it was something. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. In the seven past lives that I know of thus far, the seven that I know of, in all seven past lives, I was an orphan and I'm adopted in this life. So being an orphan is very is which I find very I find that so crazy that that's how it is, you know. But it's like, oh, yeah. Now, will I dare tell my adoptive parents that I know this now? No, absolutely not, because it's a fucking sore subject with them. I can't talk to my mom about it because she fucking blows up every time I discuss it. So I just don't talk about it. I just don't ever talk about it because it's just not. Nobody wants to listen. Well, in my family at least, nobody wants to listen because they're like, man, I gave you everything. Da, 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 da. Yes, I know you gave me everything. It's not you, mother. It's my insecurities and like my issue. I'm telling you, this girl, she like, I don't even know, man. I mean, for her to come back on, oh, God damn it, for her to come back on, like, damn it, to come back on live, for her to come back on live and be like, after not being here for six months, it's like, I mean, I'm clairaudient, whatever the one is that I know I'm not clairvoyant. No, no, no. I'm sorry. I mixed them up. I am clairvoyant because I can see spirits. But as far as like the other ones go, like I don't have any of those like that. But she's just very gifted. And I mean, if you can smell lavender or smell something that like you're across the country from somebody and you can like legitimately just be like, should I smell lavender? I mean, that's pretty gifted. I find like in my readings, and I do it in Weebies. This is the funny thing. I do it in Weebies live because like all the people that are in there, I'll sit there and I'll read every single run of their emotions. Like it's ridiculous. Like I'll just sit there and be like, this person is really not okay right now, and this person is like like analyze all of it. And I'm like, man, if all these people knew what I was doing right now, I'd be like, I am totally like self-centered, not self-centered. I'm totally like picking out all your emotions left and right here, man. You are upset. You are upset. You're upset. You're upset. You're happy. I don't know what the hell you are. You're just not. You're your own thing. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you were yeah, I knew I couldn't remember. I talked to you about it. I knew me and you had talked about it, but I know I thought I talked to somebody else, but it could have just been you that we were talking about because that was literally like 3 days ago or 4 days ago, maybe like a week ago. I don't know. But it's just funny how that all like came into. Ew, I just smoke it. Hold on a second. I gotta smoke. No, I'm kidding. What did I do? I gotta smoke. Hold on a second. Damn, man, this shit's all fucked up. But hold on. Fuck. All right, cool. This because fucking herb is not what it used to be back in the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I feel like I feel like if you lived a life like me and you've lived, or anybody that's lived, like I said, I never experienced prison. I've never experienced it. Like me being on the inside, I've never experienced it. But from my entire life and what I've gone through, which most people could say within their whole entire life have not seen half the shit that I've seen. or had done half the shit I've done, or got away with half the shit I got away with. I just so happened to got caught finally, but oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Hmm. Very much so. We're all part. I mean, she's part of my soul family. I mean, like, because we're both very big into star seeds. Because I know I'm a star seed, like with the cosmos and stuff like that, with like energy wise, which is why I feel like I'm so attracted to crystals. Like this right here. This is like a moss agate moonstone thing. Like it's like, oh, you can't really see it, but it kind of, sort of. Um, I carry it in my pocket all the time because it's supposed to the proper. I don't know why I'm attracted to it so much, because like this is like probably one of my favorite crystals besides the amethyst, um or black obsidian. But for some reason it makes me calm. I don't know why. Like it is like, it's a real crystal if you touch it and it's cold. If it's not cold, it's not a fucking crystal. Like it's cold to the touch like all the time. And like I got this one too, like this little guy. This is like a fluorite. It's like a little ghost. I think this is fluorite. Something like that. I can't tell you that. I can't fucking pronounce any of the names on it, but I have a crystal healing book that like is pretty sweet. It's got like every single crystal that you could possibly imagine. It has all these healing properties of each one. Um, I have another friend who, I don't know, maybe I didn't tell you this. I have another friend that you can trace her entire bloodline back to the Salem witch trials. Everybody in her family is descendant from one of those witches. Like it's crazy. Her family has like the family tree and everything up, like their DNA tests and everything. Like she's like generally like bloodline from the Salem witch trials. All the people that were involved in that, um, and she's gifted beyond fucking craziness. Mm. I've trust me, we've had the discussion. Um, my dad's more receptive because my dad's a Libra, but my dad's more receptive to it. But um, I think my mom, she I don't think she I don't think she understands. Like I I feel like she feels like it's like I'm targeting her, and like I've tried to explain this to her like multiple times. I've been like, Mom, just listen. It has not, like, you didn't do anything wrong raising me. You didn't. It's not like, what I'm saying. Like I would take a bullet for these people. I mean, the only thing they didn't do for me is they didn't give birth to me. That's it. But they're my family. Like they're my parents. Like, what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's it's like, but like I feel like she's just like, but she's got her own issues that she deals with, like, and I give her leeway to an extent because like she lost a son and I don't have children, so I don't know what it feels like to lose a child. um but I know that when I was in my active addiction, my mom was waiting for that phone call. She said the day that I got my DUI, she did bail me out of jail, which is what they saved my life, keeping me in jail for 20 days on a misdemeanor after I'd been bonded out on every felony. Because, and I will never forget her words. My mom said over the phone, she said, Lauren, she said, I'm not bailing you the fuck out. She said, you can sit there, because she said, finally, for once in my life, I can get some sleep tonight because I know where the fuck you're at and I don't have to wait for that phone call or have the sheriff show up at my door telling me to come down and identify your fucking body at the morgue. Those were the only words she said to me, and she hung up the phone. Didn't put money on the phone, could not get a hold of them, nothing. I resented her really bad for that for a while. But then I come to the phone, like I look at it now, and I'm like, well, you know what, Mom? You did the right thing. That was the best thing you could have done for me. And like I said, I treated like shit in jail and I almost thought I was gonna die, but it saved my life, or they saved my life to an extent. Um, so, but she just, I think she feels like the biggest thing is that she feels like if I was to find my mom, that I would leave them. That's her biggest issue. She doesn't want to talk about it because she's like, I don't want you to leave. Like, what's going to happen, Lauren, if you meet your mom? Are you going to just dip out? No, absolutely not. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own way of dealing with things. But ever since my brother passed away, it's gotten like way worse. Well, not with my adoption per se, but just her in general. Yeah, I know you felt it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. 100%. 100%. 100%. Like you definitely, you hit the nail right on the head on that one, because um that's where the fuck did my other thing go? Did I not bring it outside? Did I really not bring it out here? I know I brought it out here. Where did it go? Fuck. And my sister's coming to my house today, and like, I mean, I get along with my sister, but I don't get along with her at the same time. But she's she's a cancer too, though. So I mean, there you have it. I've been dealing with cancers my whole life. Huh. Did I really not bring it outside? Oh shit, I guess I didn't. Huh. That's weird. Well, fuck. That sucks. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll tell you, Joey thinks that he's a master manipulator. Okay. Joey thought from the very beginning that he could outsmart me and like I wouldn't figure it out that he was getting high. I mean, he was. There's no doubt about it. Um, and like he would he would get on the phone, and like I could tell when he was high on Suboxones, because when I first started talking to him, he let it slip that he was taking Suboxones. So I associated, okay, well, if this is what you're like on Suboxones, I'm gonna know what you're like when you're not on Suboxones, because it's gonna be a completely different person, right? So that's how that happened. He would be like, "I'm not on Suboxone." I'd be like, "No, dude, you definitely are, because you're completely different." Like, I know how you act on Suboxone, because that's the biggest thing in Lawrenceville besides dope was Suboxone. That was the main thing they were getting high on, was Suboxones. And like him being a Leo and him being a fire sign and me being an air sign, um, it was always funny because like he would write me he'd write letters and he'd be like, um, yeah, like I don't he'd be like, I can't get anything past you. Like, even if I like, you call me out of my bullshit, and like I can't lie, I can't manipulate you. And I'm like, well, why would you be able to manipulate me, man? You can't manipulate me, because and this is a kid. Yeah, you're right. Yes, exactly. 100%. That's, yeah, 100%. That's how you know. And then when people are like, "This is bullshit," I'm like, I like, it's always like, "Oh, repent, Jesus." No, 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 no. It's not bullshit, man. You just had like this person is the real deal. She knows what she's doing, but you just like not acceptable, like accepting of it. But to sit here and call her bullshit, like random people will get on her and be like, "Yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like, no, dude. people know define spiritual things, or people know other spiritual people. Religion has nothing to do with it. It all has to do with spirituality. And if you want to put spirituality in the category of religion, then fine. But like at the end of the day, religion was man made, and people are like you said, it's like a mirror. People are so like I always sit here and say like if you're not being hated on, you're not doing something right. That's my biggest like motto. Yeah. hmm That's something y'all don't know about Joey that I just told you about. Like, I had a very, because you know why Joey doesn't get money anymore on his commissary? That's why. I was cash apping people $25 here, $25 there, all over the place. If you remember, I don't know if you remember that Ohio dude that was locked up with him that was trying to steal me from him multiple times. Um, he They got into a fight over me. That's what it was. They literally beat the shit out of me. I mean, not, well, not out of me, out of each other over me when both of them had never even seen me outside of prison walls at that point. But he told me a bunch of shit, which it all clicked. It all added up. It all added up. Like everything added up to where like I knew he wasn't lying about it, because he would get on when I first met Ohio, Joey put him on the phone because I was doing a reading. Because at one point I was doing readings for all of them in their pods, tarot card readings over the phone. Fucking ridiculous is what it really came down to. But he made the mistake of giving this kid my number, and I told him not to do it. I said, "Don't give him my number because I'm telling you right now, he's gonna call me." And he made a deal with Joey, or with Ohio, saying like, "Hey, if I ever go to the hole, make sure you call Lauren and like let her know like, hey, he went to the hole." Because that was my biggest thing. I was like, I didn't know if he was going to the hole or not. So the day he went to the hole, guess lo and behold, who the fuck calls me? But this motherfucking kid. Oh, Joey went to the hole with his ulterior motives. Like, you didn't call me to tell me he went to the hole. You called me socially just because you saw your time and time to kind of like nip it in the butt, I guess, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My problem is I believe the good in everybody. I believe there's good in everybody. Um, but here's the thing about Joey though. I know that before Joey went to prison, he was not a dopehead. He, yeah, he would smoke weed, but he just doesn't. He's not that type of person that would. He wouldn't. If I took this motherfucker to the ghetto, he would lose his mind. He would not be able to function like at all. Like period. He probably like honestly he probably like piss his pants. Like for real. Like that's how much I know. I'm like, dude, there's no way. But Lawrenceville took a person who had no drug problem and did not give them an outlet, and that's how he got high. Well, if I was in prison and no outlet and there were drugs around and I was bored, yeah, you're fucking right. I'd be getting high. As far as I know, he has not gotten high at Greensville at all. Um, the last straw with him before all this happened, well, like I stopped putting money on his books. Once I put all of it together, and then I confronted him about it, and I was like, "Look, man, like, don't lie to me anymore. Like, I can tell when you're lying, and like, I don't know why it is that you feel like you can beat around the fucking bush with me and be like, oh, I'm not doing getting high when I know damn good and well that's what you're doing. Because you could tell me all day long, oh, it's the $25 is for weed. Oh, okay, really? Because is it really for weed? Because I don't think it's for weed. I think it's for Suboxones, or I think it's for whatever else you take in. Because he wigged the fuck out on the phone one night. Like I had never in my life seen him or heard him like talk the way he was talking. I'm like, what the fuck did you take? He's like, I don't know, man. I took a headache pill. Man, you don't know what kind of pill you took? You're full of shit, dude. You're so full of shit. Like whatever. It was either you took some dope or you took a Suboxone and it fucked you all up. You know what I'm saying? Because like you couldn't even like articulate a conversation on the phone, dude. Like I mean, you couldn't even put one word in front of the other. And then I feel like what happened was is like when he went to the hole and he had to be and he had to detox in the hole with nothing. In Greensville, you can't get anything like that. I mean, you could get it, but it's way harder to get in Greensville than it was in Lawrenceville because Lawrenceville didn't give a fuck about anything, you know? Yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna make me go inside and get my crystals here in a second. My favorite crystal is besides the ones that I get is an amethyst or a labradorite. I love labradorite. Labradorite's probably yeah. Have you ever seen a pink amethyst? I didn't even know there was such thing as a pink amethyst ever until just recently. I have one in my room. It cost me a fucking arm and a leg to buy, but I have one. Well, they're so quick to judge Wiccans and pagans and oh, witchcraft is fucking the devil worshiper. Prophets. I don't need to say anymore to a Christian or Catholic. Well, what are prophets? Because mm, pretty much the definition of a prophet is a spiritual teacher. So y'all sit here and say, "Oh, I'm all about peace, love, and harmony," or "I'm all about peace. Jesus is like, the best." Well, y'all murdered a bunch of people in the name of fucking religion. God, you murdered people because they didn't believe in what you believed in, and then you made the Bible. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to knock anybody's religion, but like the Bible has so many different fucking things in it. Like it's just like a book that everybody put their like people put their stuff into. Okay, this is where I have my issue. I could not theoretically believe that Mary got pregnant without having sex. Like that was what confused the fuck out of me. For real. Like that's why like that was the big issue in my life. I'm like, I just cannot understand. I'm like, that's not real. You can't, there's no way. There's no way. That's what sealed my deal on well, and I grew up Catholic, but hey, it is what it is. Isn't thou shalt not murder, isn't that's a sin, right? Well, you killed people in the name of religion. That's a sin. I mean, I feel like that's a sin. Hmm. You're right. Like I said, I don't knock anybody's religion. You can believe in whatever you want to believe. I'm all for it. I just don't preach it to me because I have my own thing that I but theoretically speaking is a spiritual being. I don't know what the fuck it is. Something's out there that made this fucking whole my cat's bitching. Something made this whole fucking universe thing. Something made it. I don't know if it was God or whatever it was, but it was something. That's all I know. It was just something. I mean, That's what I'm saying. Religion was crammed down my throat as a child. Like, I was adopted through the Catholic Church. Well, I wasn't directly adopted from the Catholic Church, but like the Catholic Church had a play in it. They had a part in it. um, and yeah, I went to church every Sunday, and I went to church or CCD every Wednesday. I was had my first communion, the whole fucking 9 yards, and then that's how I felt. I felt like I was being brainwashed, and that's why I told my mom at 14. I said I'm out. And then when I picked up tarot cards, she wouldn't let me bring them in the house. She was like, "Oh no, no, bitch, you're not bringing that shit into my house. You can leave that bitch outside." But I can't really blame her because that's what. Mm-hmm. You're right, Janice. It was. It was a form of control. It was a form of control. It was a form of control. Ew. It was a form of control. Come on, kitty cat. What are you doing, kitty cat? Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Mm. Come on. Come on. Come on, Miss Thing. Come on. Come on. You really being that stubborn? All right, fine, man. Fuck you too then. You need to stay out there. It's fine. I don't care. Come on, weirdo. I did leave him in here. My fault. I had to like jump over all this shit in my room. That's what it's all about. Okay, perfect. Finally do it. Ooh. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me put you over there for a second. That's a good kitty. That's a good kitty. Come here. You're not getting any more treats, cat. I don't know where you get the notion that I'm gonna give you a treat, you fucking asshole. What the fuck am I doing? Mm. What the fuck? Oh, stop. Hey, cat. Oh, man, fuck. You're gonna get electrocuted if you're not careful, cat. I gotta plug my fucking phone charger in. You don't wanna fucking let me plug it in. Oh, okay, there we go. I don't even know what the hell I didn't plug, but there we go. You did it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. No, you're a big girl. She's so codependent on me. She's just such a big codependent. Hey, look at your paw. Hey, look at your paw. Hey, look at your paw. Sit up, baby. Sit up, baby. Mm. Yeah, when I stop laughing or when I'm quiet, that's a big red flag too. A huge red flag, actually. Mm-mm-mm. What? They're so funny. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? You never sit like this. Well, the biggest blow you can do to a narcissist, stop letting them win because they thrive off of power and being in control. And if you stop giving them control, they lose everything. I don't believe narcissists can change. I feel like if you're a narcissist for the rest of your life. I don't feel like it's like a bipolar or depression or borderline personality or anxiety. I think it's like you're just naturally a fucking asshole. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. And I swear to God, Joey be trying my patience with that shit all the time. I'm like, dude. Well, now it's kind of better because he don't really do it like that anymore because he's figured it out. It took him a minute, but he figured it out. Like, oh shit, I can't lie to her. And no, we're not doing all that. Long but short of it is, he doesn't get money on his books anymore. Like I'll give him like $10. That's it. He don't get no TV. I ain't buying him no damn TV. I'm not buying him none of that shit. None of it because I don't. You're not gonna. I don't. How do I know you're gonna sell it? I have. I put. I put enough money on the phone so that the phone doesn't run out because it's my biggest thing. I can let everything else run out, but the phone thing is like I can't let that run out. A phone and stamps and shit like that. But as far as commissary and shit goes, oh hell no. I feel like I should have learned my lesson with Jordan, and I should have learned my lesson with Anthony. Well, actually, I should have learned a lesson after Anthony. When Anthony took everything that I had, I mean, Anthony took like, get out of here. Anthony took like the 3 years that I was with him. I mean, the 4 years I was with him. He yeah, I probably spent I probably spent over close to probably 10 grand with everything included. A Jordan got me for 5 grand. I'll tell you that. And I met that fool on TikTok. So he like legitimately took me for 5 grand for real. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I blame Lawrenceville a lot of the time for his drug addiction because like I said, there's no way that kid put a needle in his arm before he went to prison. No way. No way. But Lawrenceville is being like investigated really hard right now, from my understanding. Because even though he's not in Lawrenceville anymore, I keep up with Lawrenceville. I keep up with what's going on in that prison because it's a fucked up prison. Like it's a fucked up prison. Like it needs to be shut down. It does because you single handedly turned a bunch of people into well, not a bunch of people, but prime example. You took a kid that never done drugs like that in his life and put him in a drug fueled environment where he got access to Suboxones and dope, and y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't offer no programs, no nothing. It's just so off the wall bullshit. Oh yeah, everybody has a gift, 100%. Mm-hmm. Well, Mark, you're very much a healer. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? Oh, come here. Would you want to come back up here? Oh, goodness gracious. Come on. All right. All right. Free the cat. Yeah. No, it isn't. It's everybody. Everybody, I think I believe in. You know what, Mark? I don't know if you know who this guy is. You probably like him a lot. His name is Alan Watts, and he's no longer alive. He's dead now, but he's a guru. Um, he says a lot of like deep shit, and he talks a lot about I'm just gonna tell you to type in Alan Watts into YouTube, and I'm gonna let you listen to it if you want to, because I can't really explain it, but I think you'd really be interested in it. It's he there's all different things he talks about. Like he talks about like the real you, or like what yeah, you're just gonna have to watch it. Alan Watts. Type in Alan Watts Guru on YouTube and listen. You don't even listen to all of it. Listen to like some of it. Pick one that you like and just listen to it. It's great. He's yep. Yeah. I'm so grateful that I'm so grateful that they left me in jail. So glad. I mean, I say that like yeah, I felt like I was gonna die because I was so mistreated in jail. But I figure if I can survive what I got put through in jail, that like I can survive anything. You know, I talk to Joey sometimes. I wonder like I for the life of me can't imagine doing 17 years in the penitentiary at 20 years old. I can't imagine doing 17 years, period, let alone 6 years or 5 years. Like, I don't think I would make it, Mark. Like, to be honest with you, I do not think I would make it. I think I would have offed myself if I had that long of a time. Like, I truly believe, like, I don't think I would be able to do it. A year in county was bad enough, but like 17 fucking, dude, like hard. I mean, like, goddamn, you guys are, that's the other thing I believe in. Yeah, 100%. Like that's why I'm saying I I envy people that have done like major time because I don't think I would be strong enough to do it. Like I really don't think I could. Like to really like do 10 of those years at Lawrenceville. What? Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I really don't think I could. Mm, Oh, you're talking about no, you're talking about Joey with the whole um gang thing. Can you please get out of the way? What are you doing, cat? God damn. Mm, my cat, she's weirdo. You're a weirdo. You're a weirdo. You know that? You're a weirdo. Oh, I'm gonna show you. Let's see if I can do this one. Okay, so let me see. This is a this is what you call a dream amethyst. Okay. So you got this one, and then you got a regular looking amethyst. I'm gonna show you the difference because I got another one that's crazy too. Well, the pink one's even way cooler. So this is a pink amethyst with like the druzy on it. This is what a pink amethyst looks like. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, you're right. And that's why he's not gonna come out of prison the same person he was when he went in. He won't. But that's something I'm willing to like work on. Mhm. I told him he gets his commissary shit back when he can prove to me that he's not getting high. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't think he's getting high at Greensville. I don't think he can get it like he could at Lawrenceville. Like I just don't think he can. Like it's not he can't even get to the he can't even use the phone. Like you can't even they don't even let him use the phone or let anybody use the phone. There's 3 phones in his whole entire pod. 3. You know what would be honest with you, Mark? Why do you think he went to the hole? Because when I said remember when I said that all those people called me from Lawrenceville, all them inmates, well really like 2, well 3, I'll say 3. 3 inmates kept calling me and shit. Well, there was a guy named Buck who was in there at night. Buck was a pretty cool person. Out of anybody that was locked up with him in that pond, I trusted Buck more than I trusted anybody else. Because first, A, he had no reason to lie to me, and B, he just seemed like I could just pick up off of his emotions. Like he was generally a good person. He was there for selling drugs or some shit. Now, granted, Joey's in there for armed robbery. Okay, so like I found out all of this pretty much like when he went to the hole. Ohio told me most of it, and then asked around, but then I talked to Buck and I said, Buck, don't lie to me about this shit. Did the money that I was sending this fool, did it go to a debt? Because his TV went missing. Okay. Commissary went missing. All of this shit went missing. We'll come to find out. You ran a debt up, you fucking asshole. That's what you did. You ran a debt up. You're lucky you didn't get killed. You're lucky that you went to the hole when you did, because if you were to get out of the hole right now, they would fucking kill you. Period. I said it to him wholeheartedly and everything. I said, I've never even been to prison, dude, but even I know, even I fucking know. Like, whatever it was that you. The crazy part about it is, though, too, because at one point, if he had told me how much he owed somebody, I would have paid it. I would have. But that's what got me and him to a really big fight because I said, "How dare you take my money and use it to pay off your fucking debts, dude?" There's no relationship without trust or communication, period. If you don't trust the other person, there is no fucking relationship. None. None. Communication. Communication is everything in a relationship, too. If you're not communicating, then there's no relationship either. Thank you, Mark. That's very true. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. You, Mark. I love you, man. You're good. We most certainly do. That's why, like, I always say this. So I'm like, I already know. Like I used to say with my narcissist, he would go out and cheat on me. And I'd be like, dude, I know you're fucking some other bitch. Why do you have to lie about it? Because I know that's what you're doing. You fucking some other bitch. Now, granted, prison and all of my issues that I've had dating people in prison were 9 times out of 10, at least with Anthony and Jordan, they had a string of bitches on their line the entire fucking time they were locked up. So they had more than one female writing them shit, putting money on their commissary, doing all the fucking 9 yards, telling all these fucking lies to all these other bitches. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're number one in my life." Da, 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 da. But when in reality, like I remember telling Jordan the same thing. I laid it all out on the table. I was like, "Dude, don't lie to me about these bitches. Like, if you got other bitches like on your shit, then fine. Tell me you got other bitches. Like, it's that simple because I already know that you do. I'm just sitting here waiting to figure out, like, are you going to be honest about it? Or am I just going to have to sit here and be like, dude, you're being totally fucking full of shit. And it was going on before JPay started because JPay literally started in 2004 or 2005 because JPay opened up when Anthony was still in prison. So if Anthony could do it without the fucking computer, a lot of fucking people that are in prison, I'm not saying everybody, generally, like I know Joey's a good person. I know he is 100% a good person. He's had to adapt in prison. He made some stupid decisions along the way, just like he made some stupid decisions getting locked up. He got locked up over some bitch. Okay. You let a bitch put you in prison for fucking 17 years because you robbed a drug dealer? I don't, what the fuck? Whatever. Yeah. You're 100% right. That's what I'm saying. Like you can always tell when people have a good relationship. I've never met your wife. I don't think I've ever spoken to your wife, but like I could tell from the moment that and the way you talk about her and the way, like I mean it is a Joey knows he ain't gonna find nobody better than me. He knows that. He knows wholeheartedly, like, dude, you're never gonna find anybody like me ever again in your life. So if you fuck it up, that's your own fuck up. I've laid it out on the table to you before we started. dating, whatever you want to call it. I laid it all out on the table for you. Boy, boom, 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 boom. X, Y, and Z. If you can't adhere to that, then you're wasting my motherfucking time. And regardless of why he checked into the hole or not, those people are looking for him. But did I say where he was at? No, I did not, because I don't care if like he ran up a dead or not. I'm not going to tell you where the fuck he's at. Get the fuck out of here, dude. No, he's good. All you need to know is where he's at. He's fine. He's good. You don't have to worry about it. That's no more. But y'all are stupid if you think I'm going to tell you where the fuck he's at, because I'm not going to do that. Because I'm the one that told him his best bet is to say he wants to kill himself to get in the hole, to get the fuck out of Lawrenceville. I'm the one that told him to do it. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I love the kid. I love him a lot. He's good. I love him a lot. I just think he's a fucked up individual because he's been in prison for a really long time. That's why the whole gang shit. Like, dude, no. Actually, that's what really deterred him from doing that shit, because I said, if I find out, I said, and I will find out. I said, if I find out you join this motherfucking gang, I said, we're done. We're over. There's no me and you. There's no more me and you ever again. So if that's more important to you with your whole 35 months you have left, then more power to you. But we will not be a thing. I will write you the fuck off real quick if you do this. So you better think long and hard about it, because say I won't do it, because I will, because I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to be a part of it. If you choose that over me, you're fucking stupid. Like, you really are stupid. Like, you really are. Is that like an overreaction? Am I like in the wrong for saying that? Ain't that the truth? Oh, yes, you are right. You're 100% right. 100%. This is mm, hold on. Let me see if I can put it back on. It's true. You know, it is the truth. Um, Man, like I always say, leave it to us to be the stupidest species in the world, because we are the only species to fuck up our own planet, fuck up our everybody's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what other animal kingdom has done that? That's what I'm saying. It's a whole hypocrisy. Like, you can't tell me in the name of. That's why it's so. To me, I just feel like it's fake. But then again, there are people that I've seen change people's lives for the better. Like I said, a lot of the Catholic following is, to me, a cult. I very much felt like they brainwashed. They literally were trying to brainwash me as a child. Like, I felt that. Like, that's how I felt. I'm like, no, this is like not okay. Like, something is not right here. My intuition was like, get the fuck out of here before some bullshit happens. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid. Period. Hmm. See, this is a labradorite. Oh, see the blue in it? That's how you know it's a labradorite. When you put it up to the light, it changes that blue color. Fish. Let's see if I can do it. Hold on. There it is. This thing is fucking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right. Well, you also confess your sins to some random ass motherfucking person. Why do you have to tell your sins to this random person? That's what got me too. Well, he's not God. Why do I have to tell him what I sinned? Why does he get to know about it? I don't. Doesn't make. That's what I'm saying. It just never made sense to me. And people think Lucifer is the devil. Well, you don't know what? No, he's not, because he was God's right hand man and he was an angel. I know people that worship him as a deity, that use Lucifer as a deity, like just like I use but just like I use Bastet. She's my deity. It's the same thing as a god or goddesses, but like people have Lucifer as their one of their deities that helps guide them places, and people are like, oh my god, it's fucking Lucifer. Well, if you believe in the Lucifer was an angel, because I don't believe the devil comes to you in fieriness. I don't believe there's like a pitchfork in his teeth and shit. No, I believe the devil comes in everything that you fucking want and then some, because I've seen it. Yep. Hmm. You are 100% right. Actually, I should drop a story about this. Actually, this should be my next story. I'm gonna write it down, but I'm gonna tell you about it real quick. So when I was in jail this last go around for my DUI, I I went to church service because it was really to get out of my cell for an hour. So I was like, I didn't even really want to go because I was like, man, fuck this bullshit. But it gets me out of my cell for an hour, so fuck it, let's go. And it was Catholic people, and like half my pod were lesbians. We'll just be honest, like half of them were lesbians. Probably more than half of them were. And these people were literally talking about, and I'm sitting here going, man, are these people really gonna sit here and say this shit in front of these LGBT people? Because why would you send a Catholic person in here to talk about, oh, you can't marry women, you have to marry a man? when you go into a jail with a bunch of women that are lesbians and that's not what they believe in. I mean, this woman like shunned them. Like, I mean, shunned them. I'm like, how can you come in here and do that? Like, I mean, and they let her do it. And she came back like the next week with the same people in the same room. I'm like, you really let her back in here? She's gonna get shanked or something's gonna happen to her because she can't you can't come up in this you cannot come up in here and say that shit to over half of the people in here like women. Like you can't do that. And if we're being on the same subject, you don't like the LGBT community. Well, yeah, I'm sure I hate saying this, but I'm sure like your priests have no problem raping altar boys. So I mean, the double-edged sword there, buddy. But you don't believe in that, but you'll do it. But that's what baffles the fuck out of me. Exactly. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I went to CCD on Wednesdays. Ugh, I just did not. I did not like. I didn't like the whole. I didn't like it. Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you that all I know is this. I don't know if there's a heaven or a hell. I don't because I'm not dead yet. Do I think there are realms? Yes, because I've seen the other side is in the spiritual side with souls and spirits. But at the end of the day, how do you don't really know until you die. Like, I mean, how there's no proof that there's heaven and hell. Where's the proof at? You can't argue with science or you can't argue with the universe like that. Like, where's the proof? You don't have the proof until I really truly believe until you die. Because when you cross over, you go through a thing called a life review. And the life review is you looking at your life through your own eyes, knowing what you did and what you did and what you didn't do and how you acted. But right. Oh my God, Mark, you're so right. You are so fucking right when you say that. It's like you can go confess your sins to a random individual, but then go right back out and use the F bomb or run a red light. Or I mean, that's a sin, but that's what gets me. You can tell a random person your sins. Well, I just don't understand why is he gotta be the one to why does he gotta be the one to tell me I have to repent and all this bullshit? Like why? I thought God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, was supposed to do that. Brainwash the shit out of me. For real. Mm-mm. You just woke up. That's what's up, babe. Mm. Yeah, you're going to hell. Everything, you're going to hell. Yep, you're right. Everything was you're going to hell. If you don't, mm, I mean, the adoption industry is a very big moneymaker. The fact that I was adopted, like, not through the Catholic Church, but very much, we'll just put it that my parents found their lawyer through the Catholic Church because my birth mom sold me for $10,000. So my parents bought me for 10 grand. That was back in 87. Could you imagine how much the fucking child costs now to be adopted? And that's what I told you. I found out about the 10 grand thing and the adoption people selling kids for money on TikTok last year. I had no fucking idea that my mom sold me for $10,000 because we didn't go through an agency. They went through a lawyer. So she got 5 grand and the lawyer got 5 grand. So that's the moral of that story. And that's how I found out about it. Because I remember I came busting inside and I said, Mom, how much you pay for me? And she said, What are you talking about? I said, When I was born, how much you pay for me? And she had no choice. She had to tell me because at that point in time, I think she knew I knew already. How much? And when she told me, I literally cried for about a day and a half straight. And it was through the Catholic Church. So you could sit here and tell me exactly why the fuck? I don't know. We all know that no, you know. Hmm. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, 100%. Why do you think all these pastors have these multi-million-dollar houses? Because the Jesus money ain't going to Jesus in that plate. It's not going back to your peoples either. It's going straight into your fucking greedy pocket to your big ass fucking house. While your community is suffering majorly and you're living the high life and coming to church every day saying, You're going to go to hell if you don't do this. You're going to go to hell if you don't put $5 in this plate. Like, the fuck out of here with that. Like, how can you, mm-hmm, that they do. You are right. I mean, I'm sorry. You're not going to tell me that some dude in a robe and a beard is waiting at the gates of heaven to judge me for my motherfucking sins. You can't, no. Yes, 100% in the mortgage and paying, yeah, the rent. Yeah, you are right, Mark. You have never spoken more true words. That is, isn't that one of the sins? Thou shalt not steal. You're stealing by giving people false pretenses. And that, like I told you, that was the thing that sealed the deal with me in the Catholic Church. Because, like, when I remember telling my mom, I said, "Why does Jesus need money on Sundays? Why does Jesus need this? Why do I got to put $1 in the fucking plate? Because he's not even here. So where the fuck is this money going to? Oh, it's going to rent. Oh, is it going to rent? Well, time goes on. You're like, no, it's really definitely going in that motherfucker's pocket because he lives in a bigger house than all of his followers. Why we're struggling to eat. You're living the lifestyle with the money that we put in the plate under false pretenses that this was going for something good. I mhm, mhm. You're right. You're right. You're right. It is. It's this is crazy because like if this was on TikTok, the shit would have been banned immediately. Um, but no, you're right. They all have scandals. Truth be honest with you, I really truly believe that the church is behind sex trafficking too. They're not fully the only people involved in it, but there's definitely involvement in that, and that's the sickening part because I'm whether my mom paid $10,000 to sell me for $10,000, was she giving that money under false pretenses? You know, like no, I know, it is all money, all money tactic. See, Mark, I think you like this one. See, like this one. This is the this is the same. This is the same crystal as this tower is. It's a dream amethyst. Isn't that like super pretty, dude? I think it's pretty sweet. In my labradorite sphere, which is the same thing as my other tower. This one's pretty sweet too. See, it's got the blue in it as well. It's like so cold. I'm right, you are, Mark. Right, you are. Yeah, I'm right from very young age. But see, I don't have empathy towards that people like that. See, and that's what makes me different. Like, but that's what makes you different because I have no empathy towards people like that. I think people that do that kind of shit should rot their fucking asses in jail, or better yet, just castrate all of them, or fucking just do something because those kind of people are what ruining this world. Well, no, I take that back. We as human beings are ruining this world that we live in. We destroy our own planet. We're going to take our own cells out for extinction. Nothing's going to take us out. We're going to take ourselves out. Mm-hmm. It's just, and that's why I'm like, that's why I'm like, that's why like, that's why I fucking love you, man. That's why I fucking love you because you're just so like I love real people, which is probably why I like cancer so much is because besides y'all's emotions, y'all are real ass motherfuckers. Like y'all are real ass individuals. Most of you, like you all know what the hell you're talking about, and you all know it exactly. Yep. 100%. 100%. 100%. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. Like, yeah, no. Because, like I said, that was my biggest problem when I went to rehab the first time was when they told me to get on my knees and pray. And I said, fuck you, I'm not doing it. You ain't gonna get me to pray on my knees to some fucking, no. It's a good, yeah, facts, 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 like facts, 100%. I would, I would rather somebody tell me that I'm being a bitch, or I even say I hate the word cunt. I hate that word with passion, and like I never use it. But if I do use it, I mean something serious because I fucking hate that word. Um, I don't remember where I was going with this. I had a point, but I lost. See, lately my ADD is out the retardedness right now. Oh, somebody to tell me like, "Hey, Lauren, you fucking up," or "Hey, Lauren, this, and this." Thank you, because I have more respect for you if you're real about it. That's why I have these keyboard warriors and shit that like talk shit on TikTok or talk shit on YouTube and like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, I respond to everything with a video on TikTok. Like, you will never see me in anybody's comments. That's not that I'm not posting a 3 minute video because TikTok lets you write four words and then you can't write no more. But all y'all motherfuckers on these keyboards can come out and run your mouths and shit. But as soon as like, I come on with a video and I'm like, hey man, why don't you come on here and say it to my fucking face to the screen? Because, you know, you talk a huge game over a keyboard, but you won't do it in real life because I guarantee you if you saw me in public, you wouldn't say that to me in public. And that's what I get out with that one. Exactly, right? Facts. Yeah. I mean, stealing money and giving people false pretense, that's a sin. Your own damn church is sinning left and right every Sunday. I mean, I wrote a joint one time out of Bible paper. I'm not even gonna lie, I did, and it was like I think I was like 13. I was like, man, I'm going to hell for this because I'm ripping out pages of the Bible to roll up joints. But I did. I smoked a lot of joints off Bible paper. Not even gonna lie. Hmm. That's why I believe I'm a star seed because the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Vikings, the Norse pagans, the Russians, what did they all have in common? The fucking stars. Everything was evolved around the stars, the pyramids, the Mayan temples. It all related to the, guess what, universe. People sit here and say, like, oh, we're the only life force out here. Bullshit, we're the only life force. There's no way. There's definitely more life force out here. We have a whole entire galaxy that hasn't even been explored yet because it's just way too fucking big to explore right now. Like, That's why I have a huge connection with Egypt. Like that's my deity is Egypt. Everything in my room's Egypt. Like I'm have a big connection with Egypt for some odd reason. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to end this here because I'm getting ready to like pass out. Oh, I'm like super tired. I'm not super tired, but I have to sleep a little bit because my sister's totally showing up here in like 5 hours, and I don't want to be awake when. Um, I love both of you guys so much. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I'm glad you got to make it to my live, Mark. We had a good. Oh, I was before I go, Mark, before I go. I'm gonna give you a spirit animal card. I'm interested to see which other spirit animal. Are you with them over the phone? I mean, just in person because it's everybody's in person. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's somebody in my job yesterday when I was closing. Um, it was this woman and her, I guess her husband or her whatever. And I mean, it was like 9:50. We closed at 10. We shut the door at 9 or like 45. And they go, I mean, all I heard was these like loud ass screams. And it wasn't screams, but it was talking really loud. I'm like, I know these motherfuckers are not in here at 10 o'clock at night arguing and shit over fucking like mop head. So like I leave the front. It's just me and my one manager. It's just both of us there, just two of us. And dude, these people were going at it in the bleach aisle, man. I mean, like this chick was like yelling and screaming. Like I don't know what the fuck y'all are doing up in this bitch, but like y'all take that shit outside and leave because we're closed. Period. I don't care. And two, like, why are you yelling at him like that? And, like you making yourself look like a real big like get the fuck out of my store like now. Like this is that's some bullshit. You're not gonna pull that shit up in here when it's 10 o'clock at night and we work in the ghetto pretty much. I mean, somebody got shot like a stoplight up from where I work like 2 days ago. People these days dealing with Karens. Oh, I love you too, Janice. Janice, you have my number, girl. You have my number. Please call me whenever. Huh. All right. We'll see what you got. This card flipped out pretty easily, though, Mark. It says, I'm gonna have to read out the book though, because I don't know what like 100% off the top of my head, like why? Because it's like a where is it at? Damn it, come here. Oh shit, is this it? You funny. You're funny. Oh God. Are you ready, Mark? You ready for it? It's you got the panda. It's the panda, and it says, "Create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or workplace of work." I don't know. Let me see if it hits home. A sacred space is an area in your home or workplace where you can have some privacy and contemplation, meditation. You probably already have one of these, or simply a bit of quiet time to think. If this isn't possible to do at work, it becomes even more imperative that you provide this to yourself in your home. This is a space that is yours, your territory, whether it is an entire room or a corner of your living room or bedroom. Place a cozy chair or pillow there and then sit for a simple altar, one one that contains a few pieces that are both personal and precious. Include a candle in your space that you can light when you're abide in there. Make sure your scared space is a comfortable place to hang out with no agenda or compulsion to do anything. As Buddha said, don't just do something, sit there. Okay, definitely. You may find all sorts of reasons or excuses not to do this, but don't cave into these internal objections. Make it important enough for you or emotional and mental health and balance to create this kind of private spiritual sanctuary. Be sure to do nothing in particular for a good period of time while you're there. That increasingly rapid pace of life and growing in intentions in the world are even greater because of doing so. It's a place for solitude and where you can more closely listen to your inner voice and feelings and trapped or tap into the life force inside that's expressing itself to you or as you. Vegetarianism, poetry, willpower, solitude, privacy, sacred space, intuition, perspective, gentleness, strength, flexibility, modest economy. Well, it's funny because, well, it's not funny. Pandas bring awareness to everything, and they're a symbol of like abundance. Well, luck, because it's in China. They're like worshipped, you know. Um, so this is basically just telling you to get back in or get spirituality, or not spirituality, like create a secret space for yourself, which I know you probably already have one, and it's called your bike. Love and light to both of you guys. I love both of you guys. You guys are always. My arm is so fucking itchy. God damn. Mm. Ow. Mm. See, that's what I'm talking about. My arm itches so bad. All right, guys, I'm out. Love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Mm. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Mark, I enjoyed our talk. We will talk more later on down the line. I love both of you guys.